All right, man. We back up
Hey,
in
what's
there
up,
like
dog?
swimwear. Shit, damn.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. We're gonna be covering the Three Mothers by Dario Argento, man. The Three Mothers trilogy, or the Two
Yeah, this has
Mothers, and
been a long time coming as well because we've teased this for so long now that we just thought might as well make it like a Halloween kind of special. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. It's probably going to be a long stream, so I'm going to warn some people.
yeah,
Um,
be a
I think it's
long
going to be a long
listen. I
one.
mean, you don't have to stay the whole time. Come back, check it out later, or something.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, man. Shit, we already got some people in the chat. See what's going on. And my beautiful wife in here. Hey guys and gals, they worked hard on this
Hey,
stream. It's
Tash.
going to be so interesting and fun. Y'all hang out. I appreciate it, baby. And we got Aiden Vavra. Hello, everyone. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, man? I thought you'd be around
You got
for
the
the
got
for
the
the
Inferno
Argento.
logo. The original Italian poster. Let's see, Gourd Guts. I'm ready to. And yeah, the time we're late a little bit. I was
What's up, man? Yeah,
having issues with my mic. If it sounds crazy, y'all let me know because I'm like that was kind of the problem. Uh,
it sounds fine to me now.
okay, I'm just wondering how it sounds in the chat too.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the mayor says, "Hello all. It must be Mother's Day." Yeah,
Hey, what's up, man?
in a way, I guess so. Yeah, you got let's see. Love the shirt. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, Chris. How's things, man?
Yeah, Suspiria, my all-time Italian horror. It's definitely my favorite Argento. Period. Like, and I've seen them all except that one, that five. What is it called?
5 days in Milan.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that that's
I've
not.
not seen that one either. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but
these views on these films are gonna like probably change
yeah,
because I've not seen these for quite a while, if I'm honest. And I know me and Dirk's gonna not really have a disagreement, but I know we're not gonna see eye to eye on one of these, which is gonna be interesting. So
yeah. It's just one of them went down quite a bit from where I had it. It's just
it's gone down for you, and it just went slightly up for me. But yeah,
yeah,
we'll discuss that. Yeah.
and it's the ultraviolet hippie. This will be interesting, but I think I know what most people's least favorite film is in this trilogy.
Right. Yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
things, man.
yeah, it's no mystery.
I might surprise people though how much I maybe like a certain film, but we'll see with that one.
Yeah, let's see. Philip Tash, the best horror movie trilogy. Oh shit. Okay.
It's up there for me.
Yeah. Inferno is great too. No one talks about it.
Yeah,
Uh, Hi, Dad. It's
completely
Grayson.
agree.
That's my son, Grayson.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on, buddy?
Have to watch the swearing now.
Yeah, for a little bit anyway. I guess. Let's see. Aiden Vavra says contender for my favorite trilogy ever. Wow. Okay.
It
Yeah.
has to be, yeah, with and the the free animals as well, the animals trilogy. It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's got to be close between the two.
I'd be a hard man. I'd have to think about it, but there's two of these are very strong, but one of them's just not. You know,
That's
for
how
me.
I feel about the animal trilogy, though, because Cat of
Yeah.
Nine Tails I don't like at all. I'd
Right.
say I don't like it at all is probably an understatement, but for an Argento film, I don't like it as much as I should.
Right.
Um,
Well, man, I wanted to bring something up though. So, like
okay,
before we start the
yeah,
get into the films, I wanted to bring up about like the whole Nicolotti, Dario Argento debacle. You
right,
know, so she said that it was her grandmother. Uh, she was 14 years old, and she was trying to, be like perfect playing piano. And
yeah,
at this music school, that they were practicing black magic. So she ran away from the school, and then she told
right,
them that the building burned down and it was rebuilt into cement. And Daria and Dario visited that place and said everything she said was real. They wouldn't let them in, but somehow Dario got to see. Uh, he made friends with a Pakistan girl, and he got.
Right.
Did you hear about this? He got to see a dance, and they said everything was real, like what she had said.
I know they did a tour basically trying to find
Yeah,
different locations and trying to find all the meaning to all the witchcraft.
yeah,
Yeah, I did, but I knew about the Pakistan girl.
yeah. Well, also Nickelodeon said that she was the one that brought it to Dario's attention to let's go into the supernatural, fantastique realm of horror, right? Like,
Yeah.
because basically it was all thriller, and then he had a little bit of it in Deep Red, the supernatural with the psychic or whatever, Helga, right?
Yeah. At the
But
start. Yeah.
but she said basically that was her whole idea, and also the book Suspiria de Profundis from what's his name, Thomas De Quincey. Thomas De Quincey.
Yeah.
And anyway, it's interesting because I read the section, the three mothers origin. Basically, it's the Lavana and Our Ladies of Sorrow, and there's only like 10 pages of it, but I just kind of wanted to run through it a little bit to
Yeah.
kind of get an idea. So there are, there's three ladies of sorrow, three sorrows, just like there's three graces and three fates. And so Lavana is supposed to be like the Roman goddess of childbirth, right?
Okay.
And then these three sisters are mothers as well, but like they're like, from what I gathered from reading this, it's kind of like poetry in a way. It's very confusing. So I was trying to make sense of it. I was trying to wrap my brain around it. But Mater Lacrimarum, Our Lady of Tears, or Mother of Tears, Mater Suspiriorum, Our Lady of Sighs, or Mother of Sighs, and Mater Tenebrarum, Our Lady of Darkness, or Mother of Darkness. It was saying that the Mother of Tears was in Bethlehem during King Herod. Like, have you ever heard of the slaughter of the innocents, where like all the children were murdered, all the male children were murdered like 2 years old and younger because they were trying to prevent the birth of Jesus or whatever.
Right.
And it said that she was there, like,
So is this book is actually based on reality then?
It's actually, no, it's Thomas De Quincey, and a little backstory on him. He was an opium addict, so he wrote another book called Confessions of an English Opium Eater. I believe that's the name of it.
Yeah.
So this is very hallucinatory type,
I was gonna say, yeah,
literature. So he was the first also to bring like this drug type literature to the West. 1845 that shit was written, though. It's pretty wild, man.
And it's like 10 pages, you said, that features the three mothers.
The 10 pages explains that, but see, in the book though, it says the Mother of Tears was the eldest. It says she was the oldest, whereas in these films, Suspiriorum is the oldest, right?
Yeah.
But so basically, the Mother of Tears, like some of her characteristics, her eyes are wild, sweet and subtle. She rides the wind. She has the keys to enter any palace, and she's basically the enforcer out of the three.
She's the most beautiful as well, isn't she?
And she's the most beautiful, but like it don't really go into that in here. Like it says she's very unpredictable. She's like hot-headed, frantic,
Okay,
like she has the widest empire as well. Like, so I feel like she's like the strongest of the three. You know what I mean? But going by this, not by the films,
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
But in the
especially
film,
with.
I think she probably is the strongest too out of the three.
I was going to say it makes sense
Yeah.
because in the Mother of Tears film,
Yeah.
she is very strong, whereas in Suspiria, the mother is very weak, and there's a whole backstory to that as well.
It says she has the power of her keys brings sleeplessness to men, women, and children. So that's some of her traits, things she can do or whatever. I just thought it was pretty interesting. I just figured I'd bring it to the table a little bit, see
No, man, yeah,
a little
it's
something
great.
different. So I'll get into the mother of sighs, Mater Suspiriorum. Her eyes are not sweet or subtle, and if you like look into her eyes, you'll see all of your dreams begin to perish.
Right. Yeah.
And also like, um, and she cannot be read like through her eyes or whatever it says that whatever that meant. This dude's on drugs that's writing this shit, so
Probably, yeah.
says she created delirium. Uh, she never weeps or groans, but sighs, and then she enslaves all the outcasts, and then she puts her mark on their forehead. So what I got from that was like she controls them all.
Yeah.
Like she probably can like possess them or whatever. Um, um, and she finds chapels of her own manipulating the highest ranks of men who in secret have her mark on their foreheads. She's very calculated and the most stealthy of the three sisters.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense now, yeah.
She creeps. So what I get from it, she's like the mastermind. She's not as hot-headed. She's more,
Yeah.
And then the mother of darkness is another hothead. The youngest of the three, they did get that right? As far as
okay,
like in Inferno, says she's the youngest of the three, and if you speak of her, you need to whisper. And she's a defier of God, mother of lunacies, and she suggests people to commit suicide.
So yeah, she puts the thought into their heads. Yeah, it does completely.
She never considers the consequences, which also makes sense in Inferno, right?
Yeah.
And she storms all doors to which she is allowed. So what I get from all this after reading all this, and I read it several times to try to make some sense, is Mater Lacrimorum has all the keys. So she can go open something for Tenebrarum. And if she, you know what I mean? It's just wild, dude. But anyway, I just figured I'd bring that up a little bit.
No, man, when you said you was going to read into that, I'm all ears anyway with stuff like that.
And what I gathered was Dario was studying all this esoteric and alchemy. They were traveling Europe, they went to France, Germany. Where else did they go? It was a triangle.
They went to Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Well. Yeah.
German, France, and Switzerland. It was a triangle border. And like they really like was getting into this shit.
Right.
It's pretty wild shit.
Because when they first started and they wanted to make Suspiria, at first as well, apart from all that source material Dirk has mentioned, they wanted to create a fairy tale so they could tell to Asia as she grew up.
Yep.
And that was another influence behind it as well.
A dark fairy tale. And because Dario said that Snow White bothered the shit out of him when he was a child.
Yeah. That was a big influence apparently on the film.
Disney's and I think it's the perfect mixture because there's an argument on both sides between Daria and Dario, like whose ideas was what. I think Daria brought a lot, but I don't think it was just her. You know what I mean? Like, I think
absolutely.
I think it was collaboration for sure. And
I think it's credited. A mixture, what you said with the book as well.
Right.
It's a mixture of the grandmother's fairy tale, the fairy tale and all that. So it's just a complete blend. Go on,
the book and the grandmother's story, that definitely. But then Argento had his own vision. He wanted to do this he wanted to do Suspiria like German expressionism style.
Yeah, because he was a big fan, wasn't he, of Fritz Lang
Yeah.
and all his earlier films, and he wanted to do it. At one point, they were going to set it in the 1930s as well, but
Yep.
they kind of just didn't. They didn't go with that, and I'm glad they didn't. But the big thing with Nickelodeon as well is she wanted the lead role. I think everyone knows this, but we've got to mention it anyway. And she was so hurt the fact that he had to bring in Jessica Harper because she was more commercial for the American market.
Yeah.
She really took it badly.
But also though, like, what's weird about this? So I've heard people talk about it too, about Suspiria, like saying that Daria Nickelodeon's in it at the airport, and it even says it if you look it up.
It is. She's uncredited.
But she's not.
I didn't go back to rewatch it in that
She's
part.
not in the movie at all.
Unless she's hidden or something, or maybe
she's not in the film. Like I'm dead serious.
Unless
checked it out.
The scene got cut. Maybe she filmed the scene and it got cut. Maybe, but no, it is weird that she says that it actually says she's uncredited.
But she took it to heart, dude. That's the beginning of the end for Daria and Dario.
That's where I mentioned a few streams back, and I said they finished pretty early. They did actually finish over that, but they got back together.
Well, it was on and off.
Yeah.
Back and forth, but
and
it
Dario
never was the same. It was never the same. And she felt betrayed, Well,
after Suspiria came out, Dario hit the rock bottom where he wanted to commit suicide. He actually set it all up in his hotel room.
He had all the furniture pushed to the window, right?
Against
so he
couldn't. The door.
Yeah.
All he had to do was just jump off the top floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was some dark, fucking twisted shit behind all of these, actually.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, Suspiria, man. We'll go through the film. We'll go through some of the best scenes,
but I can go ahead and let Dario himself, do the synopsis,
the introduction.
Yeah. And here we go.
Susie Benner decise di perfezionare i suoi studi di balletto nella più famosa scuola europea di danza. Scelse la celebre Accademia di Friburgo. Partì un giorno alle 9 di mattina dall'aeroporto di New York e giunse in Germania alle 10:45 ora locale.
All right, well,
that's weird knowing that's Dario Argento's voice, man.
Yeah, and y'all got to excuse, like, if y'all saw the Susie Brenner, like Susan Brenner or something, that's the subtitles. They screwed up on that this release. I don't know if it's the release or if it's my damn player that it's this release here, the 4K, the German.
That's 4K. The one I want, man. That's the one I want.
But it's pretty damn, like, I can't tell the difference between it and the Synapse, but I got it before I got the Synapse, but
I've got it on the Cult Epics. Go on, yeah. Nice,
I took the discs out. I was going to show that, but it's not really nothing too crazy. I mean, that's cool,
What's the extras like on that? Is it really good? Like loads of them?
I mean, it's
mine is shit, to be honest.
It's got quite a bit. And then I got the Synapse one, of course, which is absolutely awesome.
That's kind of the benchmark, the definitive release, I would say.
Yeah.
Which
I mean, I can't tell the difference on the transfer, though. But I'm not sure. I didn't look on the Synapse, but I know that this one has it in Italian. You can watch in Italian.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So if you want,
I got the Cult Epics UK release of Blu-ray, which is not that good. The actual picture quality is phenomenal. That's why I've not really upgraded. But the extras and that, I've got another Blu-ray version as well. But the extras are not very good, to be honest. But yeah, do you want us to kick off?
Yeah, man, go ahead.
So, I'm gonna wax lyrical about this film. I think Dirk probably will as well.
I do have like right out the first gate though. Like when we get to the first kill, I got a clip to show. So just let me know.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just go through some of the cast and what have you. But So like it was written as Dirk said by Dario Argento, Dario Nickelodeon. It was from the book by Thomas De Quincey. Produced by Claudio Argento and Salvatore Argento, who was the executive producer. Cinematography was by Luciano Tovoli, and he'd already worked with Argento on Tenebrae, and he'd actually done Single White Female as well, which I was surprised. So, you know, very highly regarded cinematographer.
Yeah, one of the best available.
Yeah, he really is. He's like underrated as well, I think. The music, obviously, by Goblin. Just outstanding, man. Just
and I can't I'm hoping we don't get a copyright or nothing, but I mean we are talking about the damn films. It'd be crazy, but I did chop it up, try to avoid all that. So
yeah, I'm sure you'll be fine.
The Goblin score, you know.
Yeah. So you got Jessica Harper, and she hadn't done a lot of horror films before this. I think she was well known for Phantom of the Paradise.
Yeah, she did a Woody Allen film, Love and Death.
Some weird shit. Yeah,
she did. She was in the Suspiria remake though.
I've only ever seen that once. I don't think I can even remember much about it.
I'm not a big fan of that one. No. I did see Bones and All. Have you seen that one?
No.
She's in that one. And she's in a new one I haven't seen. It's a horror comedy. It's called Night Bitch. So
okay.
That shit
so
just
she's
come
still
out.
Working then, yeah?
Yeah, it come out this year. So I gotta check it out. You know, I can't imagine Nickelodeon. I love Nickelodeon. I can't imagine her playing this role because she's got Jessica Harper has those doting like doe eyes, you know. She just I don't know.
Ooh, I don't know. I might disagree with you on that one. I actually would have preferred Dario Nickelodeon to play Susie Banya.
I don't think so.
Jessica Harper's never really done it for me in that role.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm kind of going to contradict myself because this is still a 10. I can't really find many.
But like it called for an American too, you know. So I don't know.
Yeah, but I guess they could have dubbed Nickelodeon's voice, but that's another argument for another day.
Right.
I like the girl who plays Sarah, Stefania Cassini.
Oh yeah, she's my favorite. Actually, my favorite character.
And I do like her a lot. She was in A Bloodstained Shadow. Yeah, she's brilliant. She completely nails that. You got Barbara McNulty as well. She plays Olga. She's in it like prominently at the start. She's played a lot. Sister of Ursula. She's in a new Giallo film called Knife of Glass, which I was reading up on as well in 2023.
Yeah, Olga. So like
Suspicious Death of Mine. You could go on with her. Go
on. I just want to ask you right quick. Am I freezing or anything? Or is that on your end? It seems awful.
Am I freezing? Am I?
No, it just seems like it's speeding up and stuff. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway.
It's fine on from what I can see, but let us know in the chat if there's any problems in the chat. But I was gonna say Alida Valli, she plays Miss Tanner. And she's like this really horrible, bitchy kind of teacher of the dance class.
70-year. Go ahead. My bad.
No, it'll be on a delay or something. It might be on a delay.
I think so, man. Like that's what I was saying. Like it's a little delayed. But she had over a 70-year career, like over 100 films. Alida Valli.
It's insane, because some of her films go back to the 30s, and you've got Joan Bennett as well.
Have you seen her old pictures? I mean, she was beautiful.
Yeah. I can believe it for sure.
You know? Eyes Without a Face. She worked with Hitchcock, right? The Paradigm Case in 1947, which I haven't seen. Have you seen that one? Paradigm Case?
I've not seen that one. No.
Okay, we need to eventually I need to get through all Hitchcock.
She's in Lisa and the Devil as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
She's in a ton of films, man.
She's in Private Crimes. But
she worked for Visconti. You know, she did Senso, which she worked for Antonioni, Bertolucci, Pasolini. I mean, she worked with some crazy. I mean, the amount of directors, man, like the great,
insane. Yeah,
direct.
And you've got kind of like a really good cast, even some of the lower, you've got Margarita Hollowich. She plays a teacher. She was in a ton of like Italian crime films. She was in The Heroin Busters, Live Like a Cop, Die Like a Man, Cult 38 Special Squad, Perfume of a Lady in Black, Autopsy. I could go on and on. Crimes of the Black Cat. So yeah, you've got Fulvio Mingozzi as well. He plays the taxi driver in this and Inferno.
Yeah,
and he was kind of Argento's lucky charm. He said.
What do you think about that? Like while we're on him, do you think he's part of them?
I don't know. He acts really weird, doesn't he?
He
So I'm
does in both
guessing
films, right?
Probably knows
And then
something.
the finger prick in Inferno. Like I
Yeah,
know we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves, but I was.
I've never looked at it like that, but yeah, now you say it could well be just by the way he is. And he just nails those two scenes. Then he has this taxi driver. He's just we'll
like,
come into that. Yeah,
just, yeah.
But I just got to mention quickly as well, Udo Kier.
Oh yeah,
he's in this as Dr. Frank Mandel.
House on Straw Hill.
Yeah,
Flesh for Frankenstein, Blood
Flesh
for Dracula.
Frankenstein's the one for me. Mark of the Devil he was in.
Yeah, Mark of the Devil.
And you could even trace him. Yeah. You could even trace him back to fucking Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Yeah.
Grindhouse, Masters of Horror with Argento.
Mother Tears. He's in Mother Tears.
Yeah. It's weird because they use the same actors in different these different films, and they're completely different characters as well. So you've got the whole Demons 2 thing going on. But
I love House on Straw Hill, man. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that one. That was a video nasty.
Nobody talks about that one.
I think Chris was asking me about that last week when we were talking in a chat. But
yeah, it's a great.
No,
one.
It is. It's a really
good video nasty. But anyway, I don't want to get
off
the path too much.
But with this, I don't know if you want to go through comments first, and then we can dive into the film.
Yeah, we can. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Chris says, my favorite Italian horror trilogy is The Gates of Hell from Fulci, and you can add Zombie to that.
Quadrilogy.
Okay. Inferno was a train wreck of a film to do. Let's see. Aiden Vavra. Dario Argento's life is just as fascinating as his films.
Right.
Yeah, he was a fucking rock star, dude. He was banging whores and slamming Cadillac doors,
It's amazing that he's still going, like 85 years of age or whatever it is.
Yeah, but he was acting a damn fool, man. Like, from what I was reading about. But let's see. There's my son. He says, I love your streams, Dad. I appreciate it, buddy. No. And I'm sitting here. I didn't think he'd still be in here.
No, like I said, I've been swearing as well, so I got to watch out.
Yeah. Let's see. The Wild Guys. Hey, Dirk and Darren. Love Suspiria and Inferno.
What's up, man? Yeah.
Hell yeah. Have you seen Mother of Tears? Let's see. All right. I'm just trying to make sure. They're talking. Oh, let's see. It's hard to get through this sometimes. Not sure you guys have heard the Suspiria and DTS. Yes, I have. It's fucking amazing. It changes.
I can imagine.
Changes the game completely. That haunting score by Goblin,
Yeah, I'd love to watch it like that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, this one has DTS, I believe.
I'm not sure what mine has actually.
But it sounds amazing, man. Like the Synapse is killer too. Yeah. I believe it's Dolby Atmos.
Mine's in 5.1 stereo, I think.
It's pretty damn solid though. I know that.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Dario Argento's Suspiria, my favorite horror film ever, and without a doubt, one of my top 4 films of all time.
It was my number 1 for a long time, and going back to it now, it's it's definitely top 5.
It's
Easy.
my favorite Argento. I'll say that, and it's probably in my top 10 films of all time.
Yeah, most
sure.
people, as I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. In my top 5, Synthetic. Hey there. Love the trilogy. Just popping in as I'm playing live moderator on Alpha Romero's channel. We'll catch up. Sure, man.
Hey, what's up, man?
Appreciate you popping in. And speaking of that, we'll be doing something with Alpha Romero next Saturday. We're gonna be doing.
Yeah, we'll announce that at the end, shall we? And keep people in suspense. But yeah, we got something really cool coming up next Saturday with Alpha.
Let's see. Knife of Glass. Yeah.
I know. I don't know whether we'll see that film, but she did actually make it.
My first Argento exposure was seeing the soundtrack LP for Suspiria at a record store in '82 with the witch and stained glass lady on the back sleeve. Awesome.
Nice, man.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I was even aware of Suspiria in '82.
Let's see. Colt 38 is terrific. I actually like the Myth. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's that. I mean, I was reading the book and I didn't read everything, but I did read that section of the Lady of Sorrows, Our Lady of Lavana, or whatever. Speaking of that, we didn't mention the Paganini, or not Paganini, the Black Cat, Luigi Cosi.
Right, yeah, the unofficial.
It has Lavana in that. It's pretty wild.
That was, people regarded that as the third film for a long time, and then until Dario
it's because of what Cosi, I don't know, it's more goofy, I think, more than any damn thing.
But I've not seen it, but I can imagine it is, because I know, Cosi's films I've seen. I do like some of his films, actually, but you're never going to get a true, sequel.
Chris says, oh, shit, Udo Kier, wow, didn't recognize him. Yeah.
He plays the same kind of part.
He's in a very small part in this, though. It's kind of like a nothing part, really.
He plays a professor, doesn't he? But what I like about him, he's really good at giving the big speeches, isn't he, about the witches, and he goes into more elaborate detail.
And then he passes her on to somebody that's more knowledgeable.
Yeah.
But he sounds like a skeptic, or in a way.
Yeah, we'll probably come on to those scenes.
Yeah. Wild Guy says, we are actually doing a Phantom of the Paradise watch party next Saturday on Texas Channel. Awesome.
I've never seen that film. I've always wanted to, but never got around to that one.
Dario Argento is probably my favorite filmmaker, but I don't love Suspiria. It's a groundbreaking film, but I have to really be in the mood for it. Maybe I'd enjoy it more in Italian. Yeah.
I got to the point where I've watched Suspiria until all the time.
Yeah.
So what I would do is give it a couple of years and then go back to it, because now I've got my passion for the film back.
Right.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it in 4K and with a great sound system. It changes the game. It really does. Let's see. He says the sound rocks. Okay. Cool. Love the colors in Suspiria. Yeah, that's to mention. That's one thing before we're about to get into the film too, right?
Yeah.
So it's the last Technicolor film, right? I believe
it is. I didn't know.
I think it's the last Technicolor film that was shot in Technicolor. That was a creative choice by Argento. He used a Kodak film. It was very sensitive, so they had to use 10,000 watt lights on all the sets. So they had to flood the sets with lighting.
Yeah.
Can you imagine just blinding the shit out of people?
Plus the heat as well must have been. It generates heat, doesn't it? But no, that don't surprise me at all.
Yeah. Let's see. Gore Gut says Claudio Simonetti played the soundtrack live with Suspiria playing behind him. Was awesome to see him live. Highly recommend going to see him live if you can. Yeah, it's one thing I haven't been able to do.
Man,
unfortunately,
sorry,
yeah.
Dirk. Well,
No, you're good. I
was gonna
was
say
just
they
saying,
did.
unfortunately,
Go
that
on.
he's not coming down south, where I haven't seen him down here. So
They've played. I don't know if it was Simonetti or because there's two. Because I think Goblin,
yeah,
like is split into two or something. But they did play the UK, and I kind of kicking myself. It wasn't that far away. It was like 40 odd miles away from me.
oh man,
But yeah,
I would
I
have been
was
that.
kind of kicking
I'd have been
myself.
on that. If they were in Dallas, which is like 3 hours from me, I'd have been there.
Yeah.
But
So, but I never give up hope. I think they'll end up playing again. Just you never know; they might do it close to you.
let's see. Wild Guy says, "Yo, you are right about the Technicolor Dirk. Also, originally Argento wanted 9-10-year-olds. Yeah, we forgot to mention that. He did.
Yeah.
He did want the younger, but his dad and the big wigs, they were like, no, we ain't doing that. So
But he's kept a lot of the dialogue
that's
for
why.
younger girls.
That's why the script is the way it is. Like you see them sticking they act like girls, little girls. Some of them.
With Olga when she's on about snakes.
The snakes sticking their tongue out, and that's Sarah sticking her tongue out, and then
I think they actually made the sets like the doors look bigger as well, and the door handles.
Yeah.
To try and portray the girls as younger than what they are.
Set design, amazing.
Yeah.
Giuseppe,
I was going to say,
is that how you say his name? Giuseppe? I don't know how to say his name. Giuseppe Bassan, right?
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I wouldn't like to say it, but yeah.
But anyway. Wild Guy says the set size and dialogue. Yeah, Darren.
Yeah. That would have been a completely different film as well if they were like 8-10-year-old girls. And there's no way that would have worked anyway. I think the laws in Germany prevented that. He was going to go ahead, and I think they upped it to like 10 and 14, and then eventually they just went with they're literally
older teenagers supposed to be older.
Yeah.
Teenagers.
But they're all in their 20s. I think.
Yeah, you could tell, but they're supposed to be teens. Like
yeah.
I guess I would say 16, 17, something like that.
So we've got to start off now with the opening scene. Probably one of the best openings that you'll ever see in a horror film, no matter Italian film. It's just that theme plays. You got the narrator then tells us Susie Banion's decided to perfect her dancing, and she's going to study in Freiburg, and she's coming off, the plane. All that was originally, as far as I'm concerned, was going to be completely different because they were going to have Susie Banion talking to her sister or her niece.
Yeah.
And then it was going to be all off camera, and we see a hand come into view, and then they were going to do it like that. But I don't know how that would have worked. I don't think it was actually filmed. But you've got I've got to ask Dirk his thoughts on the opening then. So you've got the opening with the airport, you've got all the colors. And when that music kicks in and she just comes through those doors and you see the rain lashing down and she's hating
the winds just blowing her hair back, and it's almost like a force, right? Like she's just walked into this madness, right? Like
it's like you can read that on paper and you probably wouldn't think that would be scary, or it just works, man. I think John Carpenter said, you watch that scene and you're scared shitless, but you just don't know why. It's just the way it's
very shot, unsettling,
creepy and unnerving. So I don't know how far you want to go into this. Do you want to do complete spoilers towards the end, or?
Oh yeah, man, we're going through it.
Yeah.
I think good. Everybody here, like that. I would hope everyone that has seen Suspiria, and if you haven't, I'd say go see Suspiria, and then come back and check out what we got to say.
Yeah, I'm guessing we've got to mention them anyway because they go on to the next film and on to the next film.
Yeah.
But the story is of her basically being this ballet. She's come from America to study ballet in Germany. She goes to this big, massive like ballet school in Freiburg.
Dance Academy. She
Yeah.
wants to. It's a prestigious dance school, and she wants to be like perfect her craft, I guess. Right.
Right. And there's really weird things going on, even like at the start. So she sees this girl, doesn't she?
Yeah,
And
Patty.
this girl's mentioning, something about the iris and complete, like, as far as she's concerned, she hasn't got a clue what she's on about.
Right.
And she remembers later on. But they tell her to go away from the, she goes to get into the school. It's like 10 o'clock at night.
And you notice how she's wearing all white, right? When she first gets there.
Yeah. It's
very like Hitchcockian in a way, the way Dario does a couple things in this film. I noticed
it completely is, yeah, like all the way through. I'd say there's touches of Hitchcock, but that Pat Hingle, I think is the girl's name. That's just an eerie scene because
so Susie is leaving. She has to leave to go into town and get a room, and she's in the cab and she sees Patty in the Black Forest, right? Like
running through the forest, like in
she's like
basically.
Doing like this, like you don't know what the hell, but you hear that creepy screaming goblin score, man. It's pumping,
And like you said earlier, you've got the taxi driver who's like being completely like a bit of an asshole at first.
He's almost like he's just like emotionless, like a fucking zombie almost,
Yeah. He won't even come out and help her with the bags at the airport, and
right.
But that scene as well is so freaky where she's running through the forest and basically
the way it's shot.
Susie can see her as well, and she doesn't know what to make out of this. It's just done in such an unsettling way. You can't put your finger on why any of this is scary at first. But this girl then, Pat, ends up at a friend's apartment. And again, I think this has got to be one of the best sequences Dario's ever done as well. Certainly top 10.
Yeah.
Just the way she gets spooked in the bedroom.
Yeah, she's talking to her friend, and she don't want to tell her friend, but her friend's like trying to get her to tell her what the hell's wrong with you, like she's just like, you wouldn't believe me anyway, kind of deal, and and just. But I'll go ahead and play that clip, man, if you want me to.
Go for it, man.
Here we go. All right. Yeah,
man, that's insane.
That's the summarized clip.
You can start a film like that, which he's strong at doing in all of his films.
Yeah,
but man, that on top of the scene in the taxi, which he's hit, man, that's like some of the best work I think he's ever done. The first 15-20 minutes of this film.
Yeah, man. It's like, and it's it's red ass paint, but it's like it's got a charm, man. Like, but I mean, like, I know I don't want to, but I mean, like, I summarized that whole scene. That scene's like really like 5 minutes long, right?
It is, yeah. People like I said, it's definitely top 10 like sequences he's probably ever done, and that's the high bar to reach. I think with that, I find it unsettling because do you know when the hand grabs her as well, and this big old hairy. Like, looks like a man's hand or something.
It's all hairy, but it's like But it looks almost like the alchemist in Inferno, right?
Right, yeah. And I mean, that wasn't Dario's hand, because all the stuff he did was only in his giallos. He would don the black gloves.
Right.
And that's another point I'm going to ask Dirk now, right? So there's a big thing with this film being a giallo. Obviously, it's a supernatural horror film, a witch film. Right, so Richard from Doom Movie Font said something very, like, I think fitting. He says Suspiria is a giallo until it isn't a giallo.
Yeah,
And
it's definitely got elements.
The perfect way to say, but Inferno has as well.
Yeah, it's got elements of it, but it's so funny that Deep Red gets a pass, right?
Right. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No, you're right. I would make the argument for the first hour of this film being a giallo, because there's no really. I know there's a mention of witches and that, but we don't really see anything for the first, in regards to the witches, and it just plays like a giallo film. And Inferno to some degree, very similar.
Somebody that's never seen, Italian horror, or a lot of people would think, if they seen or heard about giallo, they would think that this was a giallo,
Yeah.
But I mean, it could, and there's a big debate. It's probably going to keep going on too, because there's a lot of people that are debating that, and I'm just kind of like in the camp of, I mean, it's got elements, but supernatural. It's a modernized supernatural gothic, in my opinion.
It can go under a lot of guises, but I call it a giallo fantastique, because I do think there's enough giallo in it. But primarily, I would actually call it a witch film. Obviously, it's a Three Mothers film.
Yeah, supernatural.
But I would have no arguments with people calling this a giallo to a certain degree.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I wouldn't argue with nobody over it. You know what I mean?
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people go crazy over that kind of shit, but
there's enough in there, I think, to qualify it. Certainly on that fantastic level. But so Susie turns up the next day at the school, and she finds out that this girl called Pat that she's seen, the previous night, has been killed.
Right.
And then we see all the characters. So you've got Madame Blanc.
Great
and there's
actress,
something weird about all these people.
You see these weird outcast people, right?
Right. You can't put your finger on it. There's just, it's kind of, what's the best way to describe it? The whole school seems to be in cahoots with each other. And she's obviously a stranger coming in, and she's seeing all these little nuances and but she can't put her finger on why. Why
also
off.
When she first meets all the girls in the dressing room, right?
Yeah.
In the locker room, they're all real bitchy, kind of and they're all about money, right?
Yeah.
That's what's most important to Olga, especially, right? Is money. So, and the one girl's Miss Tanner says she can borrow somebody's shoes or whatever. The one girl's letting her borrow her shoes, and she's trying to get her to buy them. It's just there's no friendly shit going on here.
But I was reading into that, and apparently the witches, the Three Mothers witches, are based on wealth as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I don't know if some of that was in there with the girls, because obviously I would imagine some of the girls didn't know, but I would imagine the ones who did find out or meet their demise.
I'm pretty sure Olga definitely was.
This is what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
Do you think she's part of the coven?
I think so. Because she's separate too from the school.
Yeah.
She has her own apartment, and she's on the phone with some man. It's probably an older man. You'd suspect, maybe a politician.
Right? Yeah. She seems to know everything that's going on in that school as well, and she's a music student, or ballet student, I should say, and she's living in this vast, amazing looking apartment,
especially for the time, that it's all black and white. It's very esoteric looking in itself.
But I think the same. I do think she's part of the coven.
Definitely.
And
You heard
most
what
of the
she's about.
girls.
You know what
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
about. All about money.
yeah.
You see at the very beginning when Susie Banyan comes in there, and she's in the background on a phone, and they're like looking at her crazy. There's like these weird, awkward looks with her
She
and
kind of
Susie.
covers up Pat's death as well. Like Olga, like ends up saying that Pat was a troublemaker, and
Yeah.
pretty much trying to say she deserved to die.
And when
she
Susie
deserved-
brings up the secret, right? That's what you're
yeah,
talking about. That's what you're talking about. My bad.
yeah.
I had a brain
It's,
fart. My bad.
No, but she's definitely involved. There's a really weird vibe in the whole school. You've also got like the matron as well, and you've got the young boy Albert, never says anything. But
He's
very
so weird.
iconic looking.
He's a creepy
weird
son of a
looking.
bitch, ain't he?
Yeah, he didn't do a lot. I don't think he did many films. I think maybe two films.
But what's up with that damn outfit he's wearing?
Yeah. He reminds me of the kid with the outfit in Deep Red as well. At the start of Deep Red.
It makes me wonder though. So, like, like the old hag nanny of his.
Yeah.
That's what I guess she is. I mean, is he like controlling her, or I don't know. There's so many questions.
Isn't he the grandchild of Madame Blanc?
Right.
So,
and you notice how he whispers to certain people and shit too.
He actually later on in the film, he actually tells them that Susie Banyan's like got into their kind of headquarters at the end. Yeah. But no, there's a really weird scene with that kid as well in the matron when she walks through like this part of the school, and it kind of becomes surreal, and it just almost becomes like slow motion, and the music kicks in. And again, you don't know why, but there's something completely just off going on like in the whole school. She ends up passing out, doesn't she, doing a dance class as well.
Well, that little clip I just put in the intro, right, where you see Alfred with the nanny woman, right? With the witch thing. They put a spell on her right then, right?
Right, yeah, that's when exactly from when she's walking through, and she becomes disorientated, and all that. But you've got, do you know when she faints and they take her back there and they put her to bed and they're like giving her all sorts of kind of injections and that. But the guy who plays the doctor or the professor is a guy called Renato Scarpa. And I know him pretty well because he was the main police detective in Don't Look Now.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got a really creepy fucking vibe to him as well.
Yeah, he's
definitely in Don't Look Now, but
he's definitely being manipulated as well. Like you know what I mean?
He's part of it, I would say.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. He's part of them. If he's not because like, I mean, I don't know, but I'm guessing like from what I read earlier about the three mothers, right?
Yeah.
So Mater Suspiriorum, she enslaves people. She manipulates and controls, basically.
Yeah. And there is a backstory with one of the characters, which we'll mention later on. Or certainly we have to mention in Mother of Tears anyway, but it goes back to this film. Right. You got the maggot scene as well. Like, really creepy and eerie.
And what do you think? Like, I mean, like I said, I'm pretty sure everybody has seen Suspiria, and so why do you think that? Because I hear a lot of people say that it don't make any sense with the maggots, and why would they put food up in the attic? And I don't think it's food in the attic.
It's never given a definitive. I know they say it's food, but
right,
it's never really.
Well, I don't trust anything they say. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. So. It's definitely something to do with all of what's going on. All the witch and witchcraft practices, probably.
But she thrives off of the misery of the students.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like her power. It's given her power for people suffering.
And later on, we'll find out that the witch hasn't really got that much power in this one either.
No.
you think
No.
about it. You got the creepy scene as well. So we've got Sarah, her friend, tells her that she don't think the teachers have been going home late at night. Because of the maggot scene, they all got to go and sleep in the big one of the big, I don't know, dance halls or whatever there is.
It's like the
And you get that,
gymnasium, right?
yeah, you get that
And then
scene
they
where
have to put up these sheets of, they have to put up
exactly
these wall sheets to divide them from the boys,
right,
is what I got
yeah.
from it.
Well, and it divides them from the mother as
Yeah.
well because they hear this really strange snoring sound,
The
like
side.
whistling.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is freaky once you know what that is. If you watch it a second time, it kind of freaks you out a little bit.
Yeah. She's right there,
And
right
it's
behind
clues.
Susie
Yeah,
Bannion, too, right?
yeah.
Why do you
And I
think
love.
that is? Why do you think she wanted to be right behind her?
I've no idea why she had to be in that place. I don't know whether she draws power from being
Right.
closer to the
And
girls.
see, this is what I got from it. So they're uncomfortable. They're not in their normal beds, and they're
Right.
all having to sleep in this. And I think she's just absorbing their fucking
Their fear.
misery. You know?
Yeah, maybe their fear is giving her, extra kind of, which we'll come on to later because a lot of her powers have gone at this stage.
Mhm.
You've got the Flavio Bucci character. He plays Daniel, the blind pianist, and there's a very memorable scene with him and his dog.
Definitely. And I was reading about that. We're not getting to that scene yet, right?
Yeah, I think we caught up on the last scene. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the scene where he gets before when he's playing the piano and Alfred and the nanny, they just come walking up to his dog that's outside the academy.
Right. Yeah.
And like, why are they looking like they're looking at that dog? Like it was almost like it's weird. Like it's a setup kind of deal, right? That's what I thought.
I don't. Do you think the
dog just bit him?
I don't think so. I don't know the whole reason why, but I just think they wanted rid of him and from the school. Maybe because he's an outsider. He's obviously blind. I wouldn't have thought he would have been that much of a kind of because he can't see nothing, can he? He can only go on what he hears.
He can just hear. Maybe he heard something though.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So, but they wanted to get rid of him in some way. I don't believe that the dog. I know the dog does actually.
But I mean, the way they're looking at that dog, it's like they're tempting it. Or
do you think they're trying to possess the dog in any way?
Could be.
Yeah.
You know what happens later.
Exactly.
Like, we're getting onto it. And
I was going to say when we come to that scene, you've got a certain view on that scene as well. With the go on, you can say it with the way the witches. Go on.
Yeah. So like when I'd watched, I don't know, I've seen Suspiria a lot, but I was watching it one time, and this was what, a year, two years ago when I told you about this.
Yeah, about a year and a half ago. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So in the courtyard scene, and by the way, that scene where I guess it's a courtyard. That's supposed to be the place where Hitler gave his first speech. Did you know that?
I read that, man. I was like fucking freaked out when I read that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that sets an eerie tone too.
And you know the bar that he's in beforehand, where you've got all the Germans dancing.
Yeah.
That's where Hitler tried to make a big speech back in the 1929, I think it was.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's a lot of Hitler kind of references with that character for some reason. But go on, sorry. Yeah.
Did you have that location written down? I forgot to write it down.
I've got it written down somewhere. Yeah.
Okay.
I was planning on maybe we'll go through the notes at the end. We'll go through the film and then we'll go through the notes. Right?
Okay. Well, yeah. So anyway, the blind man, he's leaving the bar. He's going home. He's got his dog, and then this time I noticed it, but it's because like we are using references, so I'm using. I think Darren's using. I'm using Troy Howard's book as well.
Oh yeah.
So there's things that I read in here that I didn't know and never noticed before. But this other thing I did notice without nobody told me. But it was you see like it looks like shadows, and I don't know if it's spirits or if it's witches flying by on one of the buildings when the
Right.
blind man's in the thing. But
Yeah.
the interesting thing I found this time, like from reading this, Troy Howard pointed out the camera zooms in on a gargoyle, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden the gargoyle comes alive, and then that's when we get that first person view where it's
Yeah.
flying
Yeah.
at Flavio Bucci, right?
That's an amazing shot as well. Yeah.
But I kind of think it's Mater Lacrimorum, and I think the three mothers work together. I think they're three in one. I really do.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Well, that makes sense because they're sisters as well.
Yeah, Mater
Um,
Lacrimorum. I feel like Mater Tenebrarum were both there. You know,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because
Absolutely.
she's
Yeah.
the death, right? Tenebrarum's the death, or
Yeah.
whatever. But
Yeah.
it's wild, man. Like when you start looking into this shit, like it's pretty mind trippy. But I had never noticed it until a couple years ago, I think, when I seen the shadows of the witches. It looks like that on the side of the building. Did you notice it this time?
I noticed it this time. I
Yeah.
hadn't before.
Right.
I was keeping a lookout for it this time as well. But I'm referencing a lot of Roberto Curti as well. Like me and Dirk are not passing this information over as our own in any way, you know. And
Yeah.
Troy Howard's a big influence on everything.
Yeah, big
we do,
shout out
anyway.
to Troy Howard, Roberto Curti.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
But that scene where the dog just completely turns on him and rips his throat out, it's kind of unsettling as well. I know a lot of some people say it looks cheesy and that, but it works. I think it works for the film.
Yeah, I think the film is kind of dreamy, surreal. You know, you're like in a dream. You know what I mean? That's what the charm of it is. A big part of it. Like you have to not look at it literally, like with the colors and everything. I know a lot of people say it looks fake and all this shit in certain scenes, but I feel like that's like the power that's, like the reds and shit. I think that's like the power is being used on these people and shit in certain scenes.
Yeah.
But
because he completely changes the color as well of the next film, the blue, which we'll come on to. Is there for a reason, I think, like you say, death or what have you. But
right.
You got the swimming pool scene as well. So like Sarah, she ends up telling Susie pretty much that something she was getting into something really weird going on. Like Pat, the girl who died, had told her she was keeping notes on all the weird goings on in the school.
Yeah.
And she was gonna later that night, she was gonna let Susie have these notes and go through them. But
she should have minded her business. She should have just minded her fucking business.
Do you think that swimming pool scene is weird as well? The way they're swimming, the way it's shot.
Yeah.
It's like an eerie. It's like eerie, I should say, and just unsettling.
And see, like, I know I'm kind of jumping around a little bit. I don't even know if I should.
No, it's okay.
I don't know if I should mention this or not because it has to do really. We find that out in Inferno. But should I just wait for Inferno? You think
you can mention it? I think because we're all going to mention everything in these three
well, like
anyway.
the three houses, right? That Varelli built. It basically in each one of these houses, they can hear and see everything. The witches can.
Right. Yeah.
Like every damn thing. So every time we're seeing like this first person view looking at, they know everything that's in their fucking house.
It's like you say, it's like they're being watched even when they're in the swimming pool. It's crazy, man.
They don't need microphones and cameras.
No. And I would say out of the three films, this is probably the more just straight horror film. It's not really that complex, the story of this one.
No.
But you jump into Inferno and it's fucking really complex.
Yeah, it gets it gets more into the alchemy and esoteric shit, right?
Yeah. So there's a whole thing going on with Sarah, and she's been talking to a former psychiatrist, Frank Mandel, and that's the Utopia character we mentioned earlier. And there's a really unsettling scene as well. So Sarah, she gets spooked, doesn't she, by this kind of unseen presence. around the school. Man, this is just amazing. And we kind of just see someone in black. We don't know who it is. They have like a straight razor as well.
Oh yeah.
And they're trying to do the thing with the door. And
Oh,
she's fucking like, she's just kind of huddled in the corner, and she realizes there's like a bit of a window. Yeah.
But it feels like it like that. This whole sequence, this stalking scene. It feels like you're in a nightmare.
Right.
You know, like you know how you've had a nightmare and you know something bad's coming for you, but you're
frozen. You don't. Yeah.
You can't move in certain nightmares. Like you're not even like it feels like that. Like he nails it.
I was going to say, because logically, some people would just say you would just go over to the door and just make sure they don't get through.
But I feel like she's under the spell, right?
Yeah.
Because have they taken her lighter?
Well, the Pablo on it, is it the
main?
He's kind of the Lurch type character early on.
But I'm sure. I'm sure he's taken the lighter, so they have to have a personal item, and then
he does, because he brings it in later on in the film, doesn't he?
Right.
But the whole scene there when she comes through the window, and for no fucking reason at all, she jumps into like this.
Don't look down or nothing.
Razor wire, man. Just this room full of fucking razor wire for no reason.
Right.
It is so gnarly, and man.
Man. And a lot of people can't get behind that part either. Right. But but I can. I think it's very like I said, this is a fucking nightmare, dude. Like, you know.
It works. I don't know why people don't. And Dirk was saying, like yesterday, I think it was, some people fucking regard the remake a better film than this, and fuck me, man. There's no way. There's no fucking way I will ever believe that.
Yeah, I can't get with that camp.
I'd have to question the person who says that, you know.
I mean, they got a legit reason, and that's fine. Like what you like, right? But I just can't be in that. I can't believe Susie Bannion is the real Mater Suspiriorum. You know, it's just
maybe if they're of a certain age, I could be a bit more forgiving.
Right.
But no, there's just no way. There's just no way.
Right.
But you've got to love, because Sarah obviously goes missing then, and there's a great scene later on, which like so iconic in the film. But Susie, she gets hold of this Frank Mandel, you know, to say that Sarah's missing. And he like tells her then all about, you know, what's been going on with the whole in the town, the witches and all that. And the way he says it, like some of the stuff he comes out with is Udo Kier.
It's so funny though with Udo Kier, because he's acting like, you know, that's a bunch of bullshit, but I'll let you talk to this guy. He knows more about the subject. Nobody knows the subject better than him. And then he's all like fucking fully believes the shit. So it kind of, you know what I mean? Like,
right. So he tells her that the Tam Academy was founded in 1895 by Helena Marcos, who was a Greek immigrant.
Right.
And the locals believed that she was a witch earlier in the 19th century. Marcos had been expelled from several European countries. She had something about her to urge religious people to persecute her, and she wrote like a lot of books on the subject. She come into a lot of wealth as well. She was called the Black Queen.
Right.
And she settled there, and she founded this school, and that's the whole kind of backstory to the dance academy. And the way, and that was all done. I think she started it in 1905. But the way he tells that story,
she was supposed to have burned up in the dance academy, right?
Right. Yeah.
And it was rebuilt.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So it was rebuilt, and then it was passed down to her pupil, which is actually her. So
yeah. He doesn't believe in the black magic, like you say. He kind of sees it as a mental illness, he says, doesn't he?
Right. Yeah. But the other guy, the older man,
Professor Milius,
he seems like he believes. You know what I mean?
That guy's great as well in this role. You know, again, he's only in it for one speech, but man. So he tells her that the occult is pretty much real. Witches are maleficent, negative and destructive. They have tremendous powers. Their goal is to accumulate great personal wealth. And this can only be achieved by injury and, you know, to others. basically, and they cause death, of course. And just the way he says it as well, it just completely fucking nails that speech.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, she was a real like mistress of magic. She lived and died in the city. But the Black Queen is 100 times more powerful than the coven of witches that she lives with, you know, all the individuals. So unless the coven has a leader, the coven is useless, pretty much. So they need a Black Queen, or they need a leader.
You cut the head of the snake off and they all die. So.
Right. Yeah. It's one hell of a powerful speech.
Right.
But so Susie remembers the footsteps of Sarah then, doesn't she? She kind of counts the footsteps. And realizes.
What's going on, Wild Wrangler? Sorry, man.
Oh, sorry. That's all right. Hey, what's up, man? I don't know if you want to go through. Is there any chat?
I'll go through the comments a little bit. Let's see. I'm trying to remember where I left off. Love the opening. Did I read that already?
I don't
the
think
wind,
so.
rain, colors works great. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So damn good. Hell yeah. The opening murder scene with the stained glass is amazing. Yeah.
Definitely. It is. It's one of the best.
They don't make movies like this anymore. Not sure they can. I mean,
no, sadly.
Yeah. Let's see. Darren, the dressing room scene is great as you hear voices all around you for the DTS. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And I was just saying, hey to everybody. Glad to have you in here, man. Glad to have everybody in here. And this is your first time. Check out our other content, man. And if you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button, do all the good things, you know.
And I know I've been pretty much going like almost scene for scene with this, but it's kind of hard not to, because you don't want to skip anything.
That's fine, man. This is like me and you both agree on this. This is a 10 out of 10 film. So
it's an 11 out of 10. It's an amazing.
It really is,
film. Man. But then Susie kind of finds out, doesn't she, through the use of footsteps and remembering what Sarah said, that something weird is going on and there's something else to this dance academy. She sees Madame Blanc, doesn't she? So she works out that there's this iris that the first girl had said, and then it all kind of comes back to her.
Secret and iris, because there's one scene where she's mentioning it, and it's funny because ain't she standing like right beside it, or it's behind her or something like?
Yeah.
You know, like she can't figure out what it is. Like, but that's an Argento trope, right? To remember the shit later and put it all together.
But she works it out, doesn't she? She works out that all these teachers and the headmistress and all that are all kind of in the building, but in secret room.
Would you say who's your favorite character in the film?
I think Sarah, for me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I actually love the actress as well.
Yeah, she's definitely the best part of the film, I think.
Like I said earlier, I think Udo Kier and the guy who plays that occult professor, I think they're fucking outstanding. I mean, you could go on. Joan Bennett, superb, you know.
Oh,
Alida Valley.
Yeah,
Alida Valley's got to be up there. You know, she's completely nails that.
I would say Sarah, then Alida, Mrs. Tanner.
I would say that as well. Yeah. I mean, I don't hate Susie. I don't hate Jessica Harper.
No.
I just feel maybe I would have liked to have seen Dario Niccolodi. Maybe that's played in my judgment a little bit. But you can't. You can't
it works without Jessica Harper. Like, I don't know. It just for me.
No, it would have been a gamble.
I just can't picture the film that way because I've seen it this way. You know what I mean?
Right. So. Yeah. And that's just me just being nitpicky. Like, I to be honest with you, I wouldn't change a thing really.
Yeah.
Even the ending we'll come on to, I've got kind of a little thing about, but nah, I don't think I'd change anything. But yeah, so she kind of works out that by using this blue iris that she can get into like the secret room, and she sees where all the headmistress and all the teachers are, and she realizes by seeing them as well and listening to them that they want to kill her. And that's a Navy scene as well, when she realizes that they're going to try and do some kind of sacrifice with her because they want, Susie Bannion dead.
Right.
I think Madame Blanc says, "Oh yeah, that American girl," just completely out of character as well from what we've seen earlier on in the film, where she's kind of nice.
Yeah, we see their true face, right?
Yeah. Very creepy. There's even a nod. Obviously, Dirk would have known this, but there's a nod to Bird with the Crystal Plumage as well when she goes into Helena Marcos's bedroom.
Definitely.
And that's a great scene too.
Again, I got a clip of that, by the way.
Yeah, go for it, man. Go for it.
So when she's going into the domain of Mater Suspiriorum.
Right. Yeah.
All right, here we go. I think I got a clip of that. Thought I did. My bad. Go ahead, man.
No, it's all right if you haven't.
Yeah, I got it. Here we go.
Okay.
Who is it? Who's there? I've been expecting you. The American girl. I knew you'd come. You want to kill me? You want to kill Elena Marcus? You wanted to kill me. You wanted to kill me. You wanted to kill Elena Marcus. Hell is behind that door. You're going to meet death now. The living dead.
Man, that final shot then is the best scene in the film.
Yeah.
Possibly one of the most iconic scenes ever in a horror film. So I said that gotta kind of get that clip in there. And her body, so that's Sarah's body, and she becomes reanimated.
Just right. She's got. I mean, the whole look of it though, with the pins in the eyes, and then when you see her when she first sees her friend on a table, she's got pins in her eyes.
Yeah.
With like little pearls on the end, right? And then it's got these metal spikes in her wrists. It's
It is. Yeah, it's
very disturbing.
Hands down, one of the most disturbing things.
That's some nightmare fuel for sure.
Oh God, yeah. And the way, it's just shown as well, the way she disposes of the witch as well, with the lightning strike coming down.
Yeah.
And then she realizes where she is. And
I didn't want it to run too long, so I just had to play the.
No, that's I mean, when you can play scenes like that, it's perfect because we don't really have to talk too much about them because people can see. But I would imagine people would know this film really well.
Yeah.
But it's been a while for me, so it might be a while for some other people. Hopefully, we can get their interest back up. But yeah, like you say, then it's kind of just Susie. The whole place basically goes up in flames, doesn't it? So Susie,
well, it's
I'm not
falling to pieces. It's kind of falling apart. It's not exactly like Inferno.
With the power of once the power of the witch goes, it kind of implodes. Yeah,
because it's part of her.
Right. Yeah.
The house is part of her. It's as wicked as she is. It's you know what I mean? That's what I get.
Yeah. No.
And the doors blow off and shit. But there's really it don't do nothing until she's out of the building though. Then it catches fire.
Yeah. I could have done without that. I think just ending it the way that you just shown on video would have been great. I'm not a big lover of fire at the end of films because I think I kind of think it's lazy. And the way she smiles as well, I'm not 100%. I'm good with that as well.
She made it out, and there's also what I was reading is some people look at it like in the beginning of the film, she's like a child, and then she kind of goes through her
becomes a
childhood,
woman. Yeah,
yeah, and
yeah,
becomes a woman at the end, right?
absolutely, absolutely. I think, I do think the ending of Mother of Tears is a nod to the ending of Suspiria with the laugh, but we'll come on to that when we do. I don't know what you think of that. I think it's definitely a nod.
Talking about Inferno.
No, the ending of Mother of Tears.
Well, the ending of Inferno too. Does it?
Yeah,
does it,
yeah. Now you
they
say
kind
it,
of
yeah,
all three
yeah,
do that laugh.
yeah.
They're
Now you
sisters,
say
though,
it.
right?
Yeah.
You know,
It's
like
definitely a nod. Yeah, definitely nods
I really like. I know we're gonna get into Mother of Tears. I just kind of wish that they would have got. I wanted the mother from Inferno. I wanted the Mother of Tears from Inferno. That's who I wanted. But I know it's probably too late in the game for that. But
that's. I don't know. I think it's close between the mother in Inferno and the mother of Suspiria. I'm not sure which one I like the most. I probably Inferno now you think of it. That, and again, we'll talk about the actress who plays the mother in a bit, and she's superb, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
But I'm just looking through my notes now to see if there's anything else to say. So Argento got Goblin to write the score before the film was actually made.
Yeah.
And he got them to play it back while they were, rehearsing or while they were doing some of the scenes.
Right.
And yeah, that works, man.
But you notice when you look at the score, it says his name as well. So Argento was collaborating with Goblin to make that score happen.
Right. I'm guessing he was just giving his little influence here and there. But
right.
Dario, he likes to get credit for pretty much everything.
Right. But also, you know where he learned that from, right?
No, go on.
Sergio Leone.
Okay.
Did that same thing. He would create scores before the film.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
I also found out that in Suspiria that score that Goblin did, and all the actors heard while they were filming while they were shooting the scenes.
Yeah.
It's a completely different score than that we hear now. Like they redid the score afterwards.
Oh, so yeah. So it's kind of like a work print or like an earlier version.
Right, like a rough draft, I guess.
Yeah. Did you know as well that during shooting for this, Argento and Tovoli, they witnessed a Red Army faction bombing that almost killed the two of them at the time?
Yeah, I did hear
that. Is wild, man.
Yeah. I didn't write it down, but I did hear about that.
Dario Argento's a fascist as well, I was reading.
Yeah, he's a communist, I saw.
Yeah. Which is
I was like, what the hell? Like,
he had
a red star on his wall, right?
Yeah. I would never have guessed that.
He said that his father wouldn't approve of that, Salvatore. And also there was an American producer that saw it, and he had already signed a contract. He didn't say his name, but he said he would have ripped that contract up if he'd have known that. Like,
right. I think
he had seen that red star.
He had some kind of fascination with Hitler as well, because like what we mentioned earlier, but in the 1970s, Argento devised a script with Luigi Cozzi, and they were going to do Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
I saw that.
But set it in 1930s fucking Germany, basically, with just before Hitler came to power.
Oh shit!
And man, so I'm thinking, Dario.
What the hell? I'd love to see that film.
Oh man, there's a list of unfeatured films that Dario was going to do. There's one fairly recently as well called The Sandman, which would have been interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm just looking through now. Oh yeah, so I've got to say this as well. So the original script had a prologue at the start of the film, right? Where we see, do you know when I mentioned that Susie Banyan and her niece were talking? Her niece actually gets this paper boat, and she puts it into this gully of water, and where the power of the water takes this paper boat and completely just dishevels this boat is where they were going for, and it was going to be the power of, the Mother of Tears kind of imploding.
Oh
But
wow!
they didn't go with that.
What does that sound like to you?
Well, yeah. What do you mean?
That reminds me of like It, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
With
It does.
Georgie and the damn paper boat.
Yeah.
Like what the heck?
Yeah, I thought that was like really interesting.
Right.
But yeah, I'm just looking through now. See, this turned. I know I'm not going to go too long on it because we've been going like hour and a half. We're only on the first frigging film, man.
Yeah.
But I'm just seeing if there's anything really kind of that I don't want to miss. Yeah, like you say, his references to Nazism is definitely there. That place you were on about was called the Bourbon Bracketeer, the Brassier, where Hitler made his failed 1923 coup. That's where the blind man with the dog is in the bar.
So what do you think? Do you think that that's like? Did you notice that though? The gargoyle comes alive.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Because because the camera pans back to where the gargoyle was, and it's not there anymore.
Right.
And
I think I read Troy's book as well.
Yeah.
So.
And then you see the witches. Yeah. So that was interesting. I mean, I didn't know about the witches because he didn't mention the witches in the book, but.
Right. Yeah.
Or a witch or spirits or whatever the hell it was, but whatever it was, it got his ass killed. So.
There was a lot of influences as well. So we mentioned earlier Snow White. There was the Brothers Grimm.
Yeah.
There's Poe's The Mask of the Red Death. The dancers rehearse in like a yellow room in that film, and Argento changed it to like a red room in this. Definitely a nod. And I think the actress as well plays Madame Blanc was in one of those films too. Like a Fritz Lang film as well. Joan Bennett. But
so they I had mentioned earlier that they traveled Europe, right?
Yeah.
They went to you heard of Rudolf Steiner?
Yeah.
They were studying about him, like with the alchemy and esoteric stuff. Also visited cathedrals that smelled of incense and libraries that smelled of mold.
That's right, yeah. They completely did their research on the whole film.
It was their honeymoon, and they were doing all this shit.
But they weren't officially married, though. But they kind of said it was
like their honeymoon.
Like their honeymoon. Because nobody really mentions that. Everyone thinks they were married, but they actually weren't.
Yeah. And also, he almost made this film. H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu.
That's right, yeah. He
almost just said he was going to adapt Cthulhu and make that film. So I'm glad he didn't.
I'm glad he didn't, but there's no reason
I'd still like to see that
couldn't
film.
Get both of them, but yeah.
And you can also tell, like, them visiting the cathedrals and stuff like that, it probably influenced the church, what was to come later for Michele Soavi.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, completely. Yeah.
But,
I mean, it's just a great way to start a trilogy. It grossed over, I think it was like 370 million lira, or 3,370 million lira.
Well, I've seen 1.8 million in North America alone.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that would be now, but internationally it did well. I mean, it went to Japan, all over Europe, and it had a theatrical release in America.
Right, it ranked 5th place in the year's top grossing films in Italy. There's 2 films I want to mention as well that were actually influenced by this that come a year later. So you've got The Legacy from 1978, and you've got the Norman J. Warren film, right, Terror from 1978. Have you seen that one, Dirk?
What is it?
Terror. It's just called Terror.
No, but I have it. I do have it.
It's fucking amazing. It's like a British version of Suspiria.
Okay.
It is superb. I didn't even think about rewatching that for this. Just one more thing. The scene where they're in the swimming pool was taken completely from Tony's Cat People, and it's almost lifted from that. But he just put his own little spin on it.
I feel like he's paying homage too, probably. Right?
Yeah. Did you realize as well that Sergio Garoni and Sergio Carrizzi were both going to make a parody of Suspiria a year later, and they were going to call it Suspiriola. The script and everything was written, but they never went ahead. Kind of like what Scary Movie would be to Scream, I guess. But
right. Okay.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because that would have been
I would check it out. Yeah, I would check it out.
That would have been at a time where these type of films wouldn't have even been a thing. But I don't know if you got any more. I'm pretty much happy with what I've got to say on that.
I'm good, man. I think we went through it pretty well.
Yeah.
Let me catch the chat.
Right.
I appreciate everybody staying tuned in with us.
Like I said, I knew it was going to be a long one.
Yeah. Let's see. Wild Wrangler says Dario based it on Snow White.
Yeah, definitely an influence. Yeah.
There's definitely that in there.
I mean, it's strong to say it was based on it, but it's definitely had something,
Well,
it's based on 2 or 3 things, I'd say.
Coming from him, like his part of it, he had mentioned that Snow White really disturbed him as a child. So, and he, that was kind of, a
you
blueprint.
can see that as well. If you go back and watch that, you can see there's definitely disturbing aspects to that.
Right.
And a lot of these old like Walt Disney films, you can like kind of creepy in a way.
Chris says barbed wire nest. Yeah. She is batshit crazy at the end of the film. Yeah.
I'll be right back. I'm just going to turn my heater down a bit.
All right. Aiden Vavra, the opening 15 minutes is my favorite opening to any film. Yeah, I can't argue. Man. All 3 films do end very similar. Definitely. I would have loved Mother of Tears to be made in the 80s, but I would not want to live in a world without Tenebrae, Phenomena, and Opera. Trauma and the Stendhal syndrome are great as well.
Aiden's a man after my own heart, man.
I agree with all that.
He's a super fan of Argento as well. We talk quite a bit on Facebook as well.
Okay. Let's see. 20-year gap between Inferno and Mother of Tears. Let's see. The film is a little Lovecraft-like, but Fulci's The Beyond is a better interpretation of Lovecraft.
Ooh, I don't know.
Let's see. I give Suspiria a 10 out of 10, even though I don't love it. Well, you can appreciate what it is. I can do the same.
Yeah,
there's films that I know are 10 out of 10, but I don't love them per se.
I was going to say I'm like that with Deep Red. I know it's a 10, but I don't love it like everyone.
Chris says 9 out of 10 for Suspiria. Okay.
I'd be interested in why you didn't give it a 10, Chris.
Yeah.
If you want to let us know why you didn't.
Right. And he says Stendhal is so good. Yeah.
Everyone knows that what I think of Stendhal, man. I absolutely love it.
It gets a lot of hate though. And I used to be one of those people. So
I mean we can mention
it can change.
Yeah. We can mention a film later with Mother of Tears that I friggin' love it. It's got problems, but I do love it.
Right. But yeah.
But this one is gonna be even harder to this is gonna be hard to nail down everything that's going on, but I'm sure we'll give it a good go.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's dream logic, definitely, still. And there's things happening that you question, like, is this magic involved? Are these illusions? Are some of this shit an illusion? You know what I mean? Like,
completely. Even Dario has gone on record and said that everything does not make sense in this film. So
it don't need to.
No, it doesn't.
If you are constrained to that, you're not going to enjoy these films.
Right.
You know,
There's enough there, like the backbone of the story coincides so much with Suspiria and Mother of Tears, that there's enough there to keep you, it does kind of make sense.
these are
I
the
think that's the best way.
fantastique, the supernatural,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
world of magic and all that shit. So you kind of
Right.
gotta, let some of that shit go.
Exactly, yeah. But there is not just the link of the three mothers, there is a lot going on between the three films.
Right. Let's see. I'll catch a couple more of these comments before we get started.
Yeah.
I'm weird on how I rate films. No film, even though if I love it, is a 10 out of 10.
Okay. That's interesting.
Aiden Vavra says Deep Red was my first Dario Argento in Giallo. I watched it and my mind was blown. The style was so damn beautiful and the mystery was so engaging. Yeah.
Right. I can, completely agree.
Ultraviolet Hippie says I prefer Inferno over Suspiria. In my opinion, it might be his most nightmarish film and an insanely genius masterpiece. Yeah, I mean,
I can see that as well, because we're going to mention, well, for me anyway, Inferno's not that far behind Suspiria.
And Aiden says, I'm such a Dario Argento fan, I even own his lesser work like Giallo and Dracula 3D. Yeah.
I actually get pleasure out of seeing Giallo as a
Giallo
comedy.
didn't bother me. Dracula 3D's fucked.
It's bad, but there's certain touches of Dario. Yeah, it is. You can't deny that. Praying mantis, fucking hell, man.
Yeah. Holy shit.
But there's touches of Dario in there that makes it watchable anyway, I think. And the score, I do actually like the score.
But yeah, man, I guess we'll get into it. And
yep.
I'm going to hold on. I'm kind of tripping out over here. Hold on a second.
That's okay.
I got his name. What's his name? The kind of losing my mind over here.
Who you on about? The lead actor, or?
No. Shit. It's Varelli, right? Varelli? Isn't that his name?
Yeah.
So I'm going to let him kind of give the little intro. So here we go. And I took the score out of it because I didn't know how that would go. So I removed the score. So here we go.
I do not know what price I shall have to pay for breaking what we alchemists call silentium. The life experiences of our colleagues should warn us not to upset laymen by imposing our knowledge upon them. I, Varelli, an architect living in London, met the three mothers and designed and built for them 3 dwelling places. One in Rome, one in New York, and the third in Freiburg, Germany. I failed to discover until too late that from those 3 locations, the 3 mothers ruled the world with sorrow, tears, and darkness. Mater Suspiriorum, the mother of sighs and the oldest of the 3, lives at Freiburg. Mater Lacrimarum, the mother of tears and the most beautiful of the sisters, holds rule in Rome. Mater Tenebrarum, the mother of darkness, who is the youngest and cruelest of the 3, controls New York. And I built their horrible houses, the repositories of all their filthy secrets. Those so-called mothers are actually wicked stepmothers, incapable of creating life, infamous.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I fucking love this film.
And then that score, it's already playing, but then it kicks in that it's like this. It's loud as shit too. It's like what the
man? It's Keith Emerson. I think it's his first ever movie score.
Yeah,
it's like this gets a lot of shit, mind the score to this film, because it's not Goblin.
No, man,
I love it. It's so disjointed, especially we'll come on to some of the scenes, the taxi scene as well. It's just completely fucking disjointed, but it's great. But yeah, I know I've shown this off in a few streams, but it's kind of like my pride and joy. But that's the old steel book of Arrow.
Oh yeah,
and it's completely sealed. I got the window box as well.
I got just the Blue Underground.
This needs a 4K, man. If any film needs a 4K, it's this one.
This has
I'm amazed that it hasn't.
I'm not sure what that arrow has, but this has some pretty good interviews on here.
Possibly might be the same.
It's got Irene Miracle interview. It's got
she's in this one too. Yeah,
got Lamberto Bava interview on here. So it's probably the same, huh?
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
But it's not. Those releases were come out years ago. I don't why. Did someone say that Disney owned this film? I think
that's what I heard. I don't know though. I don't know.
That is crazy. This has got to be the one that if we could all get behind.
Does Disney own Fox?
I'm not sure. The ins and outs. Like,
wasn't this a Fox production or no? Or am I mistaken on that?
This was a 20th Century Fox, I think. Yeah,
that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
So Disney might own Fox if that's true. You know,
but
I wouldn't doubt it. Disney owns every damn thing nowadays. So
yeah, but why hasn't someone else tried to get the rights off them? Because a 4K, I think a 4K of this would like break the fucking internet.
Pop just like Suspiria's 4K pop.
Yeah,
you know,
it would break the internet. I think a lot of people would be on board.
Right.
But yeah, this film is like, I first saw this film, funny enough, just a quick story, on UK TV. It was on something called the Horror Channel. And even then, right, because they used to play this weird trailer they kind of made themselves.
Yeah.
But even then, like, I seen the bluest tint of the film and it was popping at me. Just on a normal standard definition telly, that's how long ago it was. And man, I just fall in love with this film. It's been so long though since I've seen it. It's got to be like 5 years, I think.
Damn.
Which is crazy how much I like it, and I've not gone back. But...
well, yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many other films to watch too, though.
I mean, if you're talking Argento, I'll always pull out. If I'm in the mood for Argento, I'll pull out like Stendhal or Bird with Crystal Plumage or opera, probably more than most.
Let's see. I guess let me catch a chat.
Yeah.
Let's see. 10 out of 10. Such an impact on my love of horror. Talking about Suspiria.
Absolutely.
Or is he talking about Inferno?
I would imagine Suspiria, but
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Let's see. That praying mantis bit is gonna stick with me until the day I die. Yeah.
I mean, you've got to see that just for that scene alone.
Deep Red, 9.5 out of 10. My favorite Argento. It's almost perfect.
See, I don't like it as much as everyone, but for me, it's a 10.
Yeah.
You can't. I don't think you can argue that.
Right. Ultraviolent says, he's talking to Chris. Let's see. Texas is in here. He says, hey to the panel of pain.
Oh, what's up, Tex, man?
What's going on, man? Yeah, man. If everybody hit the like button, if you think about it.
Yeah, like, share, and all that good stuff.
Aiden says,
subscribe to everyone in the chat as well.
Yeah. Aiden says, I have a hot take, but I feel like Inferno might be the most beautiful horror film ever made.
It's up there, man.
I can't disagree, but
yeah,
but it probably isn't. Like, I would have to think on that one actually, but I don't know. There's a lot of them.
It's definitely top 10.
Let's see. All right. The late great Mario Bava worked on the film as well. Definitely
he did. Yeah,
he didn't want to be credited either, which
right.
I thought was pretty damn. Like, I think he felt like because he didn't have anything going, so I kind of feel like he didn't want it to like lower his reputation, you know.
So he basically did the scene of death itself when the mother turns into death itself.
Oh, he did a lot.
He did a lot of the pictures in the background as well.
The matte paintings.
Yeah.
And set design too. He did a lot of shit.
And Lamberto Bava was assistant director on this as well.
Yeah. Right. And I saw, like, I know we'll get into it, but well, I'll bring it up. I'll hold it off till we get to that part.
Okay.
But, let's see. That's a great transfer from Blue Underground. I have their release. Yeah, it's not bad at all.
It's probably the same as the Arrow. Yeah.
In my opinion, Goblin's score to Suspiria and Keith Emerson's score to Inferno are perfect, very fitting. But I wouldn't listen to either score on my own.
No, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Great point. Yeah.
Let's see. Yes, Disney owns Fox. Yeah, okay, that makes sense then.
That completely makes sense. Yeah.
Sony got some stuff from Disney.
Why don't they license the film out so someone can give it a proper release, man?
You can see Baba's influence in this film the most out of all Argento.
I can see that. Yeah.
I would see like with the set designs and stuff. I know the cinematographer though chose the lighting because Dario specifically told him that he better not copy off. Is it Tavolo? Is that his name?
Cinematography for this was done by Romano Albani.
I'm talking about from Suspiria.
Yeah, it was totally in Suspiria. Yeah.
Yeah, Argento told him don't dare copy his style of cinematography. So he went. So is Albani right?
Yeah, Albani. Yeah.
He chose to go with pinks and blues and shit. You know.
Yeah, the blues giving a very colder feel. You know.
Right. Let's see. Aiden says, no wonder I find this film to be beautiful. Mario Bava and Dario Argento's contribution was just great. And then Lamberto Bava, man.
I mean, you've got to mention
he's right there beside his father. But in that interview I watched with Lamberto, he was really saying that a lot of people don't realize the shit Mario did for this film. You know,
I can believe it as well. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, they're talking amongst each other. Yes, the set design is very gothic-like. Bava was an artist. Definitely. Most definitely.
Bava's just... Every time I see Bava, it just goes up and up in my estimation. It's
right.
Crazy.
Got his fingerprint on everything, damn near.
He basically started all these little things as well, like the slasher film. He pretty much started all the tropes in that, which I mentioned when we did a Bava stream not long ago.
Right.
He's a pioneer, man, for everything that was to come.
Hey, did you want to take a quick break before we go any further?
We could do, yeah.
All right. I'll play, if y'all don't mind. I hope I don't lose the crowd. But I'm going to play the intro just until we get back. But I just got to take a quick break.
Yep.
But here we go. We're back.
Hope that didn't confuse people.
No, we gained somebody. So that
Oh,
worked.
there you go. There you go.
Okay. I thought we would lose some people, but appreciate y'all staying. We're
Yeah.
like almost at the 2-hour mark. So
I mean, like me and Dirk has mentioned this in the past, we really want to. It's going to be a long one because we really want to do this justice.
Yeah.
So if you can watch in one go, obviously, you know, break it up over the week to come, and you can watch it all.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully, we're coming like, you know, putting Suspiria across there really well.
Yeah, hopefully we did justice to Suspiria.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
I don't know if you want to do the comments before we go into
Yeah.
Inferno.
Yeah, we'll do that. Let me see. You would not. Aiden says you would not get a lot of filmmakers without Mario Bava's films. Definitely not. And without Ricardo Freda, there would have been no Mario Bava.
That's a good point.
But then it goes back to like what, Hitchcock, Fritz Lang, those guys too. Right?
Yeah. I even think Bava's, well, Hitchcock obviously is on it, probably influenced more, but I actually think Bava's, to me, is more important. Certainly for the stuff I like the slasher films and the
definitely,
films.
Definitely. Mario Bava, like I told you, he's my second favorite director. So
I know, and he's always been like 4th or 5th for me, but he's starting to like climb up a little bit now, you know?
Yeah. Let's see. Chris says The Whip in the Body might Mario Bava's most beautiful gothic film.
That is a lovely looking film.
It is. Yeah. I still can't go against Lisa and the Devil though. So
yeah, The Whip in the Body is not one of my favorites actually from Bava, although I do like the film. Lisa and the Devil is just And
then you got Black Sunday too. Like there's no way, you know what I mean? Like
Black Sunday, there's no way that's not a 10 out of 10 in my. That Blood and Black Lace the same. So, but I like Girl Who Knew So Much as my favorite, so I'm kind of weird as well. It's all we've got streams, man, and I'm guessing me and Dirk's opinions are going to change over the space of the next year or two on different things as well.
Right.
So,
Aiden says Tim Burton's work on Sleepy Hollow was a love letter to Mario Bava. Black Sabbath influenced Pulp Fiction. Blood and Black Lace is the film that blows Dario Argento's mind.
Yeah,
it's the blueprint.
I've not seen Sleepy Hollow, but yeah.
The Wild Guy says, "Go get a drink, guys. Enjoying the stream. Appreciate it, man."
Nice, thanks, man.
Not to mention, without Planet of the Vampires, you don't get Alien.
That's a great point. Yeah, absolutely.
Got Cinephile Sanity TV. Sean, what's going on? Hey, happy Halloween, Facas. Yeah, man. Wow, guys, it's him, the legend. Let's see. Love Life Force. Yes, it's a huge love letter to Planet of the Vampires. I've thought about doing all 3 of these movies in one sitting, but it's great that you guys just did it, regardless of how crazy it might be to some people. Yeah, for sure.
Man. I did it 3 in one sitting, back-to-back nights. So I watched them twice like that as well, which is it works, honestly.
It does, man. You watch all 3 of these films. I've seen all 3 films in one day. You know, like It made a little more sense.
It does. Even though I will say Inferno doesn't entirely make sense, but that's part of the beauty of it, I think.
Right. Ricardo Freda was very good director. I love Horrible Dr. Hitchcock. Yeah, pretty good.
I love Murder Obsession. But that's a good.
Yeah, I like that one. True Lisa and the Devil's a great film, for sure.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
You got Brian Goes Blue. Hey, guys, watch Four Flies today for the first time and really enjoyed it. Awesome.
Yeah, great film as well.
Good to see you, Brian, man.
Yeah, nice to see you, man.
But yeah, man, I guess we're going to get into Mater Tenebrarum.
Yeah, this is a great film.
You know what tenebrae means, right?
Darkness.
And hell also.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It also means hell, like tenebrarum and
It's confusing, isn't it? Because he went on to
tenebrae,
make
tenebrarum.
Tenebrae like 2 years after
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And it's not connected to a witch film at all, which is yeah. But yeah, where do you want to start with this one, man? Gonna go through the credits or
Yeah. I can mention a few people if you want.
yeah.
So
You
the
mentioned
lead
so I
in the
got
film, what of course directed by Dario Argento, screenplay Dario Argento, and let's be honest, Dario Nicolodi. She claimed that she wrote the film with Dario.
yeah.
He didn't give her no credit on this one. Like
The weird thing about this one as well with the writing, so he
Yeah.
brought in Dardano Sacchetti at one point, and pretty much to come in and like revise the writing and just put a few little things here and there, but give him completely no credit, and everything he said that Dario didn't use anyway, apparently. So
yeah,
that's Argento for you. But
she said
Thomas
that.
McQuincy as well is the big part, like Suspiria.
Yeah, well, she said that. She said she was uncredited, but said it will speak for itself. I was involved, didn't want to go through that again. Do as you please. All ideas of occultism and alchemy in general come from my knowledge of fantasy as the romanticism in the film. Also, Sacchetti was also uncredited. Did you know that?
Yeah, like I just said, he did write some stuff with Dario. He met
For a
up with
week.
Dario for a
He
week.
said he spent a week with him. Yeah.
But none of it was used, apparently. None of his stuff was used.
Well, that ain't
That's what Dario says.
That's not what Sacchetti said.
Exactly. So there's 3 sides to every story. There's his truth, Argento's truth, and what is the truth, basically.
And the cold hard truth.
Yeah.
But, which we'll never know.
You're never gonna get Dario like not giving himself credit anyway.
Right. But yeah, I guess we'll get into the cast a little bit. So the lead in here is Lee McCloskey, and he's like a very art type guy, very esoteric. He has his own fucking tarot deck.
Right. Yeah.
And have you seen his house? Like his library?
Yeah.
Where he painted every fucking thing. He painted the ceiling, the walls, all the books, the floor, all that shit. Like it's very crazy looking. Like he's got all this esoteric shit, and he's into all that shit. But
he does it. He's kind of one of the weak links for me in the film, but I'll probably mention it as we go.
It don't bother me. You notice how he kind of flipped it too. Like he made it a male lead. Like, and it kind of fools you because it's how the film starts. You know,
it's very strange because we get 2 of the lead female characters end up getting bumped off pretty early, and they are really, like, for me, strong characters in the story.
Yeah.
And actresses as well.
And so I was reading in Troy's book. He was saying that because so many people say that Lamberto or Mario shot that scene, I don't know, water scene, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I was reading, Troy was saying that that's not necessarily true. Did you hear about that?
Yeah. Some other guy did it.
It was a treatment written for is it Doorway to Darkness?
Yeah, Doorway into Darkness, yeah.
So it was like an idea, and Argento did want to do it, but he knew that it wouldn't work for like a TV show, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, like, what is the verdict on that? So like now I'm hearing different.
I'm trying to look.
I've always heard that it was Lamberto, and then I've heard Mario.
No, it was this other guy, completely different guy. I have got it somewhere in my notes, but I'll come across it probably later. But yeah, they didn't. Yeah, it was some other guy.
Let's see, I got it. I thought I had it.
because that scene was actually when it first came out. The producers.
It was Luigi Cosi that it was his idea, and he took from a treatment Vincenzo Ungari. Is that it?
Yeah.
I believe that's it. Anyway, it was some La Cinq Giornet. Like I'm brutalizing that shit.
Don't worry, man.
He gave Argento a couple treatments for the TV series Door into Darkness. But that don't necessarily mean that Argento did that scene, right? I don't know.
No, that he definitely didn't.
I mean, it might be he might, I don't know. But I don't know. I don't even know where that came about.
I'll tell you now. So the famous scene early on, shot in the water tank, was by Gio Lorenzo Battaglia as a cameraman.
Well, yeah. I'm talking about the director, though. Who directed it?
But he was, that's what I'm saying. He did it. He kind of done the underwater camera work himself. There was no real direction. It was just all this guy, because it was filmed in such a way where a lot of it was done in murky water.
Yeah, because all the furniture.
All the dust was getting there.
And they threw that when they threw the dummy of the rotting corpse.
Right.
Created more dust.
Which I still say is a nod to Jaws. I completely.
It definitely is.
Well. Yeah,
that's what I get. The vibe I get, but it's.
Oh god, yeah, absolutely.
It's a killer scene. Holy shit! Yeah.
But
whoever damn did it, like just come forward and say you damn.
They were going to reshoot it apparently because of all the, which works for the scene now because you got all this debris. They were going to shoot it again, but Argento said no, just leave it as it is. But as far as I'm aware, that cameraman's the only guy who did it, and there's no he kind of did it on his own direction type of thing.
And you heard that Argento said that this was his most hated film.
Right? No, I've never heard him say that.
Yeah, because he has horrible memories.
I thought Cat o' Nine Tails was.
No, he says that he had horrible memories, that he had hepatitis.
Right, he was ill.
He's very ill, so it just brings back those memories and shit. So that's why he hates it so much. But I don't think it really has nothing to do with the film per se.
Right,
it's probably the memories attached to.
Yeah. Because he was laid down in some. He had to direct lying down. That's how bad he was at one point.
Yeah. It didn't do well at the box office either. He asked Lamberto to help, and then he asked also if he could get Mario to help.
Right, and that kind of helped in a big way.
Yeah.
After Suspiria, he did kind of take a break, Dario. And he went on a tour of America, and he did that. Obviously, did Dawn of the Dead with George Romero. Dario Nicolodi did have a part in writing it, but she only devised the basic storyline, nothing more. Like you said, she didn't really want to have anything to do with it after what happened with Suspiria. But she said, I wrote it, and she said, as a reward for writing it, she went and took a holiday in the Caribbean, with the proceeds. So it worked out good for her.
Argento described shooting Inferno was like being in a Russian prison camp.
Oh, shit. Yeah, he must have really had a bad time.
I'm telling you, this. I mean, I don't know about now. I can't speak for now, but this was his most hated film.
Right.
I've actually seen him say that in an interview, too. So
I wonder if that's, like you say, just related to the fact that he was having a bad time, not the actual quality of the film.
Right.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Of course, this was shot in New York, on location in New York. I think that was the first scenes they shot in this film as well, in Central Park.
Yeah, and some of those are paintings, right?
Yeah, but it's weird because William Lustig was helping behind the scenes in those. We'll come on to a very memorable scene with the rats. We're going to mention a bit later. Yeah. Lee McCluskey was cast after James Woods pulled out because he was doing another film.
Boy, that would have been weird, wouldn't it? James Woods.
I don't know whether that would have worked. But Lee McCluskey
with his smart ass.
Yeah. I'm not sure on that one.
Shit.
But reading about the cast, right? So Irene Miracle was chosen because she was a past professional swimmer. So when she
Yeah.
does the under
Yeah,
water
when she was younger, she could synchronize swimming, right?
right, but
She could,
she was pretty ill on set as well. Apparently, she had alopecia and her hair was falling out,
and
and Dario
Argento was
wanted to fire
pissed.
her. Yeah,
He was pissed off about it.
because
Like,
her hair wasn't matching up, obviously, to different shots they were doing, and Argento wanted to fire her.
yeah,
So I'm not
he was
sure whether
mad.
that's why she meets an early demise. You've got Gabriel Lavier. He plays. He was in Deep Red. He was coming back off a 5-year hiatus from acting, and he actually was a very big kind of character actor in Italy. You've got the Romanian Veronica Lazar. She plays the mother in this film. She was Adolphe Sally's wife, and he pops up in all the different giallos. Everyone will know him. What do you think about Elena Georgia as well? So
You talking about Mater Tenebrarum?
yeah, I'm talking about the one at the end. That
Yeah.
was Veronica Lazar. Yeah,
Yeah, she was in The Beyond, and
she was. Very
and,
kind of iconic face.
she was like a woman of culture though in Italy. Did you know that? Like she was, and Romania. Also, she was a president of Itaro Art Foundation, held in high regard, and she asked her niece to play the theme from Schindler's List at her funeral at the Jewish cemetery.
Holy shit, man!
Yeah, like,
I know she was very well to do. She come
Yeah.
from kind of a money background.
but you can kind of tell, like, she's a great actress, man. Like, I know she's not in the film long, but her few lines she has is
She does. She didn't do a lot actually. She
No. she's not in the film at all, hardly. But she's very effective though. Even in The Beyond, she's effective.
she does turn up in Sendel Syndrome as well when she comes off the plane.
Right.
So yeah, that's sort of how I remember her, that and The Beyond.
She was Last Tango in Paris from Bernardo Bertolucci. She was Marlon Brando's deceased wife.
Right, so that's her biggest role then, obviously.
1972.
Yeah.
Last Tango in Paris.
That's a very kind of famous film.
Yeah.
I did want to mention Eleonora Georgia.
Okay.
She at the time was the wife of producer Angelo Rizzoli. And she was like at the top of her game during this, apparently. She was well respected by different.
But she was in some erotic films, right?
Yeah.
She was in that. I still want to see this one too, by the way. Story of a Cloistered Nun.
Yeah.
1973. She was in a lot of erotic films. She was in Beyond the Door, 1982.
Right. Yeah. I remember her from Black Belly or the Tarantula.
She's in that?
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
But yeah, she was very well regarded, high regarded actress at the time.
She got naked a lot. I know that.
I mean, she's a beautiful actress as well. Well, both of them, her and Irene Miracle, I will say. Stunning. And Irene Miracle, of course, was in Night Train Murders. Everyone probably knows.
Oh yeah, man, that's a
fucking disturbing Christmas film.
Shit.
Yeah. I mean, and it does qualify as a Christmas film as well.
It's almost as disturbing as Last House on the Left, but just.
I think it's better, but go back and see our previous streams. Of course, you've got Dario Nicolodi actually did end up playing a part in this film.
And it feels like he's kind of getting back at her or something, don't it? Like,
she's not used as well as she could be, I'd say.
Right.
She plays
come on, man.
She doesn't come across as like a countess, does she either?
No, but it's kind of like I wonder why he chose that role for her. Like.
I think it was probably just to keep her happy, if I'm honest, after like the disappointment of Suspiria. And she did play a base part in the base plot of this, so writing the plot. So I would imagine he just threw her a bone. But Yeah, Romano Albani, who did the cinematography, he did go on to do Phenomena. He did a brilliant Italian crime film called Like Rabid Dogs, not to be, confused with
Rabbit
Bavers.
Dogs.
Yeah, he did Terrorvision, which is kind of a weird one.
Yeah, that's strange.
And he did Obsession, A Taste for Fear, which is a Giallo coming out in the Forgotten Jolly 7 box set.
I forgot to mention with Irene Miracle, she was in Puppet Master.
Yeah, she's got a really weird
And then
filmography.
she was in Midnight Express.
It is crazy.
What the hell? Like,
I mean, you put Night Train Murders in, and that's 3
yeah.
completely different films. Like,
Yeah.
but Dario was in it, wasn't he? Obviously, as the voice. Lamberto Bava plays a tenant, but he's uncredited. We got to mention Anya Peroni, the music student.
Oh man,
Very, very iconic scene.
I
when
would
she's
say
with
her biggest role would be House by the Cemetery that I know of. Like,
yeah, but
that we
yeah,
would know of, right? She's in other.
I would say Tenebrae would be the reason I remember her more.
I could see that too, but House by the
changed.
Cemetery, she's got more to do. I think a little bit more.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
You know?
But they're very iconic scenes in both of those films as well.
She's got those eyes, right?
Yeah, she just stares at is it Mark? She just
and
stares
she's whispering her little fucking witchy spells and shit. You know?
Right, so I got a question for you about that.
Yeah.
So a lot of people say that she's the third mother.
Made her like her mom.
But she's not. Dario Nicolodi has confirmed that she's not. She's a witch. She is a witch.
Okay.
But she's not one of the three mothers.
She's not made her like her mom?
No. There's confusion. A lot of people write that she was, but
yeah.
No. She was literally just one of the witches, maybe following the head witch, but
I'm guessing made her like her mom came in there though, because the windows bust open and the fucking wind and shit.
Oh yeah, like, it's all linked. Yeah.
What I read earlier about the from the book or whatever, like talking about she rides the wind,
Yeah.
So
but I think she was kind of
there,
Yeah, she's kind of part of the coven, I would guess, or just under her. But I don't know if you want to go on to the film.
I didn't know that shit. That just blew my mind. This whole time I've thought that was the damn Mother of Tears.
I did, and then I just got it confirmed in Roberto Curti's book. But Nickelodeon completely dispelled those rumors.
Wow. That's the first I've heard of that. But
yeah. I mean, there's some great stuff in those books.
Yeah, man. But yeah.
There's loads of shit, man. I've got written down.
Yeah, I got a lot too.
It could be a long one. But we could just start off going through the film if you want, and then we can come back to notes and that
That's
later.
Cool. Let's do that.
So just to kick it off, I love the opening music to this. So you've got Rose Elliott. She's a poet living in New York, and she's bought this book called The Three Mothers from this antique dealer, and he's got a weird name, Casadian or something. I think it is
Kazanian.
Yeah, I always get that. I always think of the pop band, getting mixed up. But he's like an antique dealer. He's like the book is written by alchemist Eve Varelli,
and he's just like a real piece of shit too, Randy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Originally, he was gonna have 2 wooden legs, but they kind of niched that idea for some reason. I know we'll get onto that scene.
I also heard that Argento and him didn't get along too good.
He looks a bit of an asshole, though, doesn't he? So you can imagine him and Argento.
He was at the end of his career, though, too. But
he must have been getting on.
But Argento said he was hard to work with.
I'm trying to see now if he did anything else. So I can't really see if he did a lot, but he probably pops up in a lot of these, Italian films. But yeah, the Three Mothers book, it actually tells the story of 3 evil sisters. I know Dirk's kind of gone through this. They rule the world with sorrow, tears, and darkness. They dwell in different homes built by Varelli himself.
So I kind of I think of it this way. I'm not trying to drag it out longer. I know this is going to be a long stream anyway, but
yeah, be prepared.
Do you think that maybe that these 3 entities, right? that they just go to different bodies. You know what I mean? The
Like,
three
what do
mothers.
you mean possession? You mean?
Yeah, like so Mater Suspiriorum is Helena Marcus, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and then like at the spoiler alert, at the end of this film, Mater Tenebrarum says it's all burning down like it did before. You know,
Right.
some
So
very ambiguous little lines she says too. Like I don't know if they can just be destroyed. Like, you know what I mean?
I'll be honest with you. I think so. This one's more
Maybe I
open
thought
to.
too much into it, but I'm just saying like those questions are out there, and it's never clearly.
No, this one's more open to interpretation. You can,
Yeah,
like, Suspiria's just there in black and white. You can tell the story. It's not that much to it.
right.
Mother of Tears is that way as well. I find but this one is all over the fucking place. It goes into different rabbit holes with the witches and
With the alchemist.
everything with everything going on. But yeah, so pretty early on, she goes and sees this antique dealer, and she mentions, does he know any more about this Three Mothers book? And she finds out pretty much there's like, different clues into what's going on in the book. It's hard to like say what, but there's like a key or one of the clues is it's beneath your feet,
It's
literally.
beneath the soles of your shoes.
Beneath the soil, that's it. Yeah. And there's little things like that in the book that kind of give you, little clues as to what's going to happen throughout this film. But straight off the bat, you've got, she writes to her brother and she mentions that she's come across this kind of, she feels that she knows pretty much what's going on with these houses and the Mother of Tears and Mother of, the Three Mothers in general. And she wants him to like contact her. But you've got that scene early on, man, with this, we've got to mention it, and with the underwater. It just comes out of nowhere because she goes and visits the antique dealer and ends up just getting some kind of hunch that something's going on in the cellar.
It's almost like he knows something though, too. Like it gives.
Yeah.
It's like he knows something, but he don't want to say. Like,
yeah. No, I completely got that as well.
It's so very weird. Like, I guess like a red herring in a way,
Yeah. No, there's something sinister about that guy.
Yeah.
Right. Well, obviously, with what he does later on is like fucking. Oh man, that scene is just.
Let me catch the chat right quick. Let's see. Sorry.
That's okay.
Let's see. Wild Wrangler says, I'm trying to make sure people are talking. Okay. Wild Wrangler says, we'll rewatch. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it, man.
No worries, man. Yeah, definitely.
Saying, love that scene underwater. Definitely.
We're going to mention that now, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The underwater scene is one of my favorite scenes in any Argento film. Definitely.
It's up there again.
And yeah, so like forever we've heard it was Lamberto Bava or Mario Bava or somebody, but
yeah, no, it was the cameraman. I think it was just him. If you go back to the Curdy book, he pretty much mentions that as well.
Okay, I didn't get a chance to check it out. I was reading what Troy was saying. He was saying pretty much he was leaning toward it was Argento that directed that scene, but. Because I'm sure you got to storyboard the scene kind of or like prepare.
You would have thought so.
You know what I mean? But
do you know what you were just saying about the Kazanian character? He does actually say something which kind of, from what you're saying, it rings true.
Yeah.
So he says the only true mystery is that our very lives are governed by dead people, and that's where
I wrote that down as well. Yeah.
That's where you are probably right then. So he does know, I think.
The only true mystery is that our lives are, governed by dead people. Yep.
So I would imagine he's kind of not so much in on it, but he just knows what's going on.
He knows something.
Yeah. Because he's been around for a long time. He's like an old guy,
Yeah. Let's see. The introduction to Mother of Tears in Inferno, so gorgeous, man.
It's one of my favorite like openings to a film, man. Yeah. Just the music, it's great.
And Chris says Mother of Tears is the woman with the cat.
No, that's Inferno.
Let's see, Ultraviolet. Okay, yes, that's her. Let's see, I love Terror Vision. Brian says.
Terrorvision's just cheesy, man.
Be prepared. Okay, Ultraviolet Hippie says, I didn't know that Anya Peroni was just a witch. I've always assumed that she was the Mother of Tears since that scene takes place in Rome. And that's what I
did.
thought.
Yeah.
Too.
I did for the longest time until
Yeah.
I read Curtis' book and he completely. Oh, Dario Nicolodi was the one who kind of dispelled that. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. But
because she's very beautiful too. So
it does make sense. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
She could have been the Mother of Tears, or
right.
I don't know. Yeah, but no, it wasn't to be.
Got Daniel Shine in here. Shout out, guys.
What's up,
Dan?
Hey, man.
Happening.
Again, go over and sub the Dan's channel and visit by Voices Network, Flesh and Features, and all that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But what do you think about this underwater scene, man? It's fucking amazing the way it's done.
It's nightmare reality too, right? Like,
yeah. So she drops her keys, doesn't she?
Drops her keys, and then go ahead.
No, go on. You good?
I was just saying, she drops her keys down there, and then she jumps down there, and she's like, what, down under the water for like over a fucking minute, right? Like, and then comes back up, gets her breath,
and it's
you know, and then goes back down 3 minutes, some shit, I don't know.
And then it's claustrophobic because then she can't find a fucking way out at one point.
Yeah,
and you're thinking, shit, because the time is got, you know, is she just gonna completely drown? I don't know. It's just the way the dead, all these dead corpses fucking appear from nowhere. Man, it is just fucking unsettling.
And then she sees the name, Mater Tenebrarum.
Yeah. It's really.
And then that scene where like you see her hand close up, and that feels like Dario Argento. You see her hand close up, and she's grabbing the keys, because we know Dario Argento used to do TV commercials where he had these certain lenses that were super close up. He used those same kind of lenses like in Deep Red at the very beginning.
Right. So you've got like the Black Glove Killer in a way in this, like Suspiria at some point.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. So I think this, even though this is more of a witch film, I still think it qualifies as
it's
Giallo
supernatural.
Fantastique. Yeah, Giallo Fantastique, I'd say.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole scene is superb. Rose, like she basically used like these people whispering as well and snooping about, and after that scene happens, like all the wood beams in that kind of place just all collapse in this building, and then it just completely goes to Rome. Then where we see Mark, who's like in this music class, and that's the scene we mentioned with
the scene with the beautiful witch. We know she's a witch. We know that.
Yeah.
We think we definitely know she's a witch because she's doing that whispering shit, right?
Right, and she turns up later as well, and she goes off in a taxi at one point.
That's what I'm saying, man. I think that's the Mother of Tears. Like I don't care what Nickelodeon said.
I think I'll go with the right on that one, to be honest. But everyone can feel differently about it, you know, and see.
Yeah. It just makes more sense to me in my mind, but you know.
The music as well is built like opera into that one scene where, you know, as well. I think it's Va Pensiori, like chorus in a well-known opera song, and it kind of stands out. You know, obviously he went on to do opera. I think it was like 7 years later, and he brings that into the same track. But that with Keith Emerson, this same track I'd say is fucking superb in every way.
The prog rock kind of stuff, like
yeah,
when she's in the cab.
That's probably the best part for me.
Yeah,
music.
I don't
Right.
particularly like that part of it. I like
So go
the
on.
beginning. I like the beginning how it opens. I love like when we get later on into the film. I like most of the score. It's when she's in that cab. That part of the score I'm not a fan of.
I fucking love that part. See,
Yeah.
so you've got Sarah, and she's next to Mark, and he's reading out.
Yeah,
He's trying to read his,
she's being nosy. It's like
Yeah,
mind
yeah.
your business, right?
He's reading the letter he has from Rose, telling him, he's got to come over.
Yeah. But who the hell does
then,
that?
well, yeah,
Who
exactly.
the hell
Yeah.
reads your? I mean, I know she's obviously likes the dude, right?
I think she was trying to get where he was, like get his address. That's the way I seen it. But
Okay.
But he's extracted by Anna Peroni, the witch, and he goes to follow the witch, doesn't he, out of the music class? And
It's
that's
like
when
he's
he leaves the
enchanted.
letter behind. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then you've got the part where she goes in a taxi to the library. And like, I love all that haphazard music, man. It just gives me an unsettling vibe. It's definitely a nod to Suspiria because you've got the same taxi driver. You've got the rain outside. I love it.
The
I
cab
love it.
music, just that part is the only thing I don't care for. But the rest of it's perfect.
It's fucking surreal though, that part. Yeah. To me, it's just
I love
surreal.
everything else about it. But
yeah,
when she's getting out of the cab, when she gets out of the cab and her finger gets pricked, that makes me think that he's in on that shit. Now that they done got her blood, because
he's probably like you say, because I don't know if it's meant to be the same guy. Obviously, not meant to be the same guy from Suspiria, are they? But he obviously knows what's going on.
It could be.
It possibly could, because of that dream thing. See, anything's possible.
This all a nightmare, dream reality, right?
Yeah, anything and everything is fucking possible in an Argento film,
right?
But she's kind of horrified to find what was actually written in the letter. Like Sarah, her name is in this. So didn't they say Varelli? So she was onto something. So she says Varelli disappeared under mysterious circumstances many years ago. I think this is what she says in her letter. Or she finds out, I should say, in the book in the library, maybe. Yeah, that's it.
Mother of Tears.
Yeah. So
I mean,
there's
the
a whole
three mothers.
Yeah, the three mothers book. But there's a whole scene where she goes to leave this library, and she ends up in some kind of fucking basement with all these cauldrons and
it's like
this
an
kind of
alchemist, like
yeah,
dungeon, cellar, dwelling domain type.
The
shit.
guy's like some kind of monster, is he? Or fucking is he normal? I don't know. You don't really see him.
I think he's probably like, in my mind, like he's some kind of fucking necromancer, witch, alchemist, right? Like,
right, yeah.
So science and magic mixed together. He fucking did something to himself. I don't know. Like, you go.
But he just completely attacks her because he wants that book. So he wants to get.
They don't want nobody looking at that book.
Right.
But it's so weird when she goes into that library, and then she's like asking where the book is, and then the dude's like, "Oh, it's right there." Like, that's so weird, right? Like, it's just right there, right behind you.
Again, I think it's just surreal.
Yeah, but I love it though. That's
that's
what I love about it, because it's like it feels like a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, it does. And I think that library was actually used in The Beyond, if I remember rightly, and The Perfume of the Lady in Black.
Yeah.
But you got the Carlo character as well. He turns up. Gabrielle Lavia from Deep Red, and he tries to keep her company. It's like a weird scene where
that shit never happens either.
No,
right?
no, a beautiful woman like that.
Yeah,
like,
she's like, "Oh, I'm scared. I'm lonely tonight. Can you come hang out with me? Like I don't want to be alone and shit."
And then you got the whole electricity going on and off.
He's like, "Yeah, I don't have anything going on for a couple hours."
Exactly. Why not, man? It's a very like everything. I'm gonna say a lot. Everything is surreal in this.
Yeah.
But you've got the black glove killer, so to speak, in a lot of these early scenes too. we basically see the Black Glove Killer cutting off. So they've cut out these kind of paper people,
Cutting the heads off of the
and
paper dolls.
Yeah, decapitates the paper fucking dolls' heads, man. It's
Yeah.
weird because in that scene we see a lizard with a butterfly in its mouth.
Well, we see a woman hanging herself.
And we see a woman hanging herself. And then we're thinking, what the fuck at this point? What the fuck is going on?
You know who I think that is?
Go on.
I think that's Mater Tenebrarum. Because
it could well be, yeah.
Like what I said earlier, right?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember now because we just watched the film, but like, is she wearing black gloves when she's carting around old boy in a wheelchair?
I didn't know. I can't remember, to be honest.
I can't remember, but anyway, with Mater
I wouldn't have thought so. I wouldn't have thought so.
With her though, like knowing what we know from the other thing, she suggests suicide to people. You know,
that's what I was going to say. I think the girl who's hanging herself is just basically a puppet. Like there, you've got the paper dolls,
right?
I think, like, yeah, she's.
And then you see the weird lizard scene with the moth.
Yeah, man. I'm not sure if that's a nod to Deep Red as well. It probably is with the lizard in Deep Red.
Yeah.
When the girl puts a pin for the lizard, but no, they're so strange, man. Some of these scenes, but they all fucking great in its own way. I think I don't know about you, but I think I kind of realize everything that's going on, but you can't nail everything, I don't think, in this film.
No,
kind of hard.
Ultraviolet Hippie says, he says, the Mother of Tears casts a spell with her whispering that causes Mark to quit reading and put away his letter from Rose. It was her way of trying to keep.
See, but that goes against everything Nickelodeon says. Or is he on about the girl with the cat?
Yeah, when she's whispering to Mark.
Yeah.
And they are in Rome too, you know.
I'd love to get Dario's definitive answer on that, because obviously Dario's passed away now.
McConaughey Kong says, I'm with Darren in this one. The cab scene is great. It grew on me. I used to dislike it too. Okay. Yeah.
It's just the way it's done, man. It's just so unsettling.
I mean, I like the scene. I just don't like the music.
I love it. I do, man. Yeah. I hope someone don't clip that, by the way.
I'm clipping
it. Probably.
I'll put it on a subscribe clip. You know? So Chris says, you all have a great evening. All right, man. Take care.
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, have a good one, man.
Ultraviolet Hippie says, the Mother of Tears casts a spell on Mark with whispering that causes him to quit reading and put away Rose's letter to him. She was trying to keep him from looking into the three mothers' lore. Yeah, she definitely didn't want him to read that letter.
See, but was that the third mother, the mother actually controlling the witch of Anna Peroni to do that? So
could be.
Could be.
So she's very beautiful, we got to admit.
God, yeah.
And they're in Rome, so that's why we always.
That's why a lot of people have said that, yeah. A lot, and I did 100% believe that as well.
Aiden says the elevator scene was so damn funny. Yeah, that shit don't happen, man. That montage with the black glove with the music in the background is so damn awesome, but creepy.
It's fucking brilliant, I think. Yeah.
Because
the three scenes just come from nowhere, like the lizard and a woman, like it's
just don't. It's like a nightmare. You know? Like how you have a dream, and I know we keep going on, and we're probably ragging that shit out, but I can't help it. It's just that's how fucking dreams are. You know, they jump from one thing to the other. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. That's the only way you can really talk about this film anyway in that context, because there's no fucking reality, I don't think, in this.
Or maybe there's because it also says about Tenebrarum, she creates delirium in people, fucks with their heads and shit, right?
Yeah. That explains some of the scenes as well.
The taxi, Aiden says, the taxi music in Inferno is my theme song. I hear you.
Oh man, I love it as well. But with Carlo, the way Carlo's killed, because he gets like, I think it's like a fucking knife through his neck, doesn't he?
Oh yeah. Yeah, and you notice that scene fucking is creepy as fuck because he's going, but we skipped a part that makes it even creepier. Like
Go on.
when the music's playing, the opera music, right?
Yeah.
And then the fucking shit's flickering.
Yeah, on and off.
On and off. That's some creepy shit, dude. Like,
it is.
I don't care. That shit's unsettling as hell. And then he's like, well, let me go see where the fuse is. And she's like, no, and all this shit or whatever she says. And then he goes and sees, and then he's still talking. And then she goes to check on him. But it's not him talking.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's somebody imitating his voice, but they're using magic, is what I got.
Because he said he's got it fixed, doesn't he? And even when it's going back and forth again, it's cutting out.
Right.
But that whole scene, the way he fucking grabs her and he's in his last throes of death, like, it's just so fucking...
Right.
Yeah,
and
man,
she
nasty.
Gets stabbed in the back and shit. And,
she falls through a fucking sheet, doesn't she? Like this big sheet.
Which makes no fucking sense.
I was going to say, why? Why is there a big sheet in the middle of...
But it don't happen until Mark shows up, right?
Mark Caesar, yeah.
And it's like...
It's,
what?
Because he gets there too late, obviously, and...
Yeah.
It's a weird scene, man. But that's going to come up a lot in these films. So Mark then rings Rose and he promises that he's going to visit, does he? And then the phone gets cut off. So already you've got definitely one of the lead actresses already been killed. It's like almost like a Hitchcock film, like early on. But there's going to be another as well. So once they all start. But she, Rose, she hears like these people talking, like two people talking.
Yeah.
And trying to get into her apartment. Again, it's kind of a weird, surreal scene. She cuts herself like on the door handle.
So the door handle blows up halfway.
Yeah. It's weird.
It cuts her hand real good. And then you see that good red paint blood,
Yeah.
And it's like, love that shit.
And then you get you see the figure with the black gloves as well. It's almost like a giallo. It really is. Some of the
going through the door, like, and then we're like in a basement, right?
Again? Yeah.
And then there's a window guillotine just for no reason.
I think that was part of the broken window.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
it looks like a guillotine, right?
It's done. It's used as a guillotine. But what's so good about that scene is that it doesn't work first time, and he's got to do it again, or the killer's got to do it again.
Right.
That's a great scene as well. It's like a big storm outside.
Now, was that Dario's hands? Because I heard it was.
That could have been.
I heard that was Dario's hands.
Yeah. I don't think it was him in Suspiria, but it could well have been in Inferno.
I think it was him because I think I remember him saying that in an interview that I watched.
But her head is actually impaled on these like spikes, these needles as well. Just before the fucking guillotine of the glass comes down.
Mm-hmm.
But so we get two of our main lead actresses out the fucking film by what? Half hour max, something like that. Maybe halfway. But that's when Mark arrives in New York and he gets to meet. So he meets Carol, which is played by Alida Valli, like we've been mentioning, a superb actress. But there's this like fucking nurse, and she's looking after this professor called Professor Arnold. Yeah. But is he like fucking mute? He can't speak or something.
Right.
Is it? Yeah. So he can't speak. And then you've got Carol, Alida Valli's character. She's kind of cutting up all this meat for the cats, and that comes into play as well because Kassadian fucking hates these cats. So Matt gets to meet at least the Longvale Alder. That's a big name to say. Dario Nicolodi's part. And like Dirk said earlier, her part in this film just doesn't seem to go well. Her character doesn't seem
It's
to go
almost
well with
like
the film.
it's almost like an insult role. I felt like.
Yeah, I think he just chucked her through bones, basically. To
Yeah, like here.
yeah.
Leave me the fuck alone.
There's no way she comes across as a countess. There's just the whole way she plays it. She's supposed to be really sick as well, her character, but she doesn't look it really. So there's that. There's really strange that is as well. But she is kind of a character that's needed because she's kind of important the way it goes. So that's right. She tells Mark about Rose's infatuation with the three mothers. And that's where the fear of being watched comes in, you know, that they know they're being watched.
Yeah, she explains about they can hear everything through the pipe and through the vents and shit.
There's like a hole in the door or in, you know, where in the door at the front.
The way it's set up. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, like this, they obviously follow this trail of blood as well because they're trying to find out what's happened, you know, to a friend Rose. But he becomes ill, doesn't he, for no reason? Or does he inhale something and just becomes ill? That just passes out basically in the basement or whatever it is. And weirdly enough, you've got Alida Valle's character comes along and gives him this fucking heart medicine, which kind of works as well.
Yeah.
Like
it's almost like they're in on it with it makes you think like that they're definitely dirty, right?
She's definitely in on it because she knows the nurse and the professor in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
So she's probably just like one rank below in kind of witches, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which like makes complete sense, sort of. I'm trying to make sense, but yeah, so it's weird because he obviously wakes up. They kind of put him back to his apartment. I figure, you know. I don't know if that would have been possible as well because he was like completely out of it. How they would have carried him or
what do you
whatever.
get from that though, too? Are you thinking that they're trying to bring the Mark to their side?
I don't know. I think they're kind of worried that, you know, he's probing a little bit too much. Maybe they're trying to get him on board. Yeah, maybe. But they do try and kill him later on. To spoiler, but to no success.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like the whole speech at the end of the film.
Yeah. No, yeah.
No.
I know what you mean. It kind of makes sense in a way. But yeah, you got this figure like stalking as well, the Black Gloves. I know I mentioned it, but we gotta mention Dario Niccolodi's death scene, which is fucking comical in a way. So you know how they done that, right? Well, it's obvious how they did it with the cats.
Yeah.
So you've got Lamberto Bava and his assistant were basically just throwing fucking cats at Dario Niccolodi.
Yeah. He said he can't stand a cat now because he can't stand the smell of cat hair. He said
it doesn't really work, but I mean, in the context of the film, maybe it does. But you can just tell that it's just some fuckers just throwing cats at her, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would imagine some of that probably hurt, you know.
Like, well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Dario's like, yeah, bitch, you know, it's payback time now. You know?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's completely out of context of the rest of the film, but
let me catch the chat right quick.
Yeah.
Before we get too far. Yeah, we're creeping on 3 hours, man.
Yeah, I knew it would be. It would be.
Mother
of Tears is not going to be as long, I don't think.
Nah. Ultraviolet says, we read that. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to. Okay, my bad, y'all. Carlo gives the most unsettling look before he gets up to check the fuse box.
Yeah, he does. He does. Yeah.
I don't know why she falls through a sheet, but I dig it. It's stylish and nightmarish as fuck. Yeah.
I'm guessing it's just, well, obviously it's just for effect, but yeah, it does look fucking weird.
Yeah, it's It was on a poster too, I believe. I was looking at posters the other day.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that one. I don't think.
Yeah, it's on a poster. Like I don't know what country it was for, but it was. It looked
That would have
pretty
been a cool image to use. Yeah.
Ultraviolet says, I love the scene where Rose is wandering around before she gets killed. It's so nightmarish with the music, thunder, and rain. Yeah.
I love all that. I mean, yeah, I love all that stuff. But you gotta mention the scene as well with the fucking antique dealer, obviously in New York. It is so bizarre. I want to get your take on this. So he literally gets so fed up with these cats, and he puts them all in bags, and he goes out to Central Park in New York, and he ends up drowning these cats. But it's so much retribution in that fucking scene. Is great, man.
Yeah, he ends up drowning the cats, and then rats start attacking him, and they're the ones that kill his ass.
So he's got one leg, I presume,
right.
in this.
Yeah.
And he loses his foot in. So
Yeah.
you've got all these rats that fucking eating him alive.
Right.
And you want them to as well.
And then the irony that you killed the things that could kill the rats. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You killed the cats that they could kill the rats. But
right.
Yeah.
And what makes the scene even more fucking bizarre, you've got this hot dog vendor, and for some reason the eclipse is going on at the same time, which I gotta mention, which Kazadian did mention early on.
And that's Baba.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah.
That did the painting for the eclipse and everything.
Absolutely, yeah. Which I think Argento kind of got that idea as well for Dark Glasses with the solar eclipse as well. But it's kind of surreal. So this hot dog vendor comes over, and you think he's gonna like save this guy from the rats.
Mm-hmm.
And he just ends up completely killing him, like almost
he's in on it, definitely. He's either in on it or he's being controlled. That's what I say. Like, I think they have the power to do that. I think they have the power to completely control someone. You know,
what makes the scene so fucking nightmarish as well is, I presume it's at midnight or something like that because it's really late at night. Why would there be a hot dog fucking vendor?
Yeah,
at that time as well.
Well, that is kind of commonplace a little bit. Like we got that here in Shreveport, like downtown Shreveport.
Right. Okay. But I find that completely bizarre. But knowing like Williams Lustig helped in that scene for Maniac, like I love all that. He was on set, I think, for a day, and he kind of helped them, behind the scenes with that scene. But yeah. But we are coming near the end. I know we got some notes on the film as well.
Aiden says the hot dog vendor dude after the murder goes back to his job in the next shot. Holy shit, the scene is wild and unforgettable. I love this film, man. Yeah.
I completely fucking agree. Completely agree. It's just so batshit crazy everything that happens in this film. And there's more to come as well,
Ultraviolet says Kazanian drowns Mater Tenebrarum's cats, then he gets instant karma. Yeah.
Yeah. And as we're watching the film, we want that fucker to drain as well because of what he does to the cats.
Aiden says we all get hungry after midnight, all right?
Well, I don't know about that, but certainly in New York City at the time, you had the whole cruising thing going on in Central Park, so maybe they wanted more than a hot dog at times. Who knows? But so yeah, we are coming up to the the conclusion is batshit as well, isn't it? So you got the whole thing with Dario Niccolodi, who plays Elsie's butler John, and Carol. So they kind of try and steal all of her money. And this is another scene that's completely just batshit crazy, comes out of nowhere. He's kind of killed off camera, isn't he? I think he's killed off camera, and then Carol
then you
comes
see
back.
his weird ass eyes and shit.
Like popped out of his head, halfway down his cheeks. And Carol comes back and finds him. He's had his eyeballs gouged out.
And she's talking shit about the rich elite people, right?
Right, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, then her dumb ass gets wrapped up and catches on fire and shit.
She's
Like,
got like a candlestick, and she fucking
Yeah.
gets caught up in all these drapes. It's fucking great, man.
and that's definitely what I was saying earlier about Mater Tenebrarum. She leaps like a tiger and doesn't think about the consequences.
Right, because I thought that Carol obviously was a part of the coven or something, but but she falls an horrific death as well. Not only being burned, she falls from a window as well.
Right.
And
then it slowly burns, right?
Yeah.
But see, Mater Tenebrarum knows this the whole time.
Exactly, yeah.
She's just laying on a fucking table, like thinking about that shit or something. Like, I don't know.
Right. It does conclude this film kind of like
I love it though, man.
He ties it up well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So Mark then finds out the final clue from the letter is under the soles of your shoes, and then he kind of finds this weird crawl space and all these weird
And
fucking
if you think about that now that's something else that a lot of people would like overanalyze. They'd be like, well, wait a minute, these books, right?
Yeah.
Now, who's to say that book is only meant for specific person, right?
Okay, yeah.
Because I mean, that shit wouldn't apply to everybody, right?
Right. Yeah.
You wouldn't just be digging off in the floorboards in every house,
Exactly. It's and then he goes and finds these secret fucking rooms and passages. Like,
what was the deal with the ants, though? Explain that one.
I don't know. They was so early on in
fumigate.
Yeah, like early on in the film, there was going to be a scene with Rose where a group of ants come into her apartment and they go through a hole in a wall or something. I know that was going to be like an early shot.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they kind of tipped their hat to that or what in that scene. But the whole fucking reveal is great in this, isn't it? I don't know about you. I think the whole reveal is brilliant.
It's great, man.
The actual.
You ready? You ready for it?
Go on.
You want me to go ahead and do it?
Yeah.
All right, here it goes. Now you gotta just keep in mind I have to clip these things so we don't get no strikes or nothing. So, but here we go. All right. Yeah, I believe this is it. And here we go.
You are looking for me, just like your sister. This is what you wanted. I'm coming to get you.
Tell me who you are.
The three mothers. Haven't you understood? Mater Tenebrarum, Mater Lacrimarum, Mater Suspiriorum. But men call us by a single name, a name which strikes fear into everyone's heart. They call us Death!
That fucking scene's great, man.
It is, man. I love that shit. It's so simple, and I've heard people shit on that skeleton, Grim Reaper looking thing.
No.
But it works for me.
It fucking works, man. But you've got the whole thing with Professor Arnold and the voice generator. So he was actually, in fact, Varelli.
Yeah.
And he was the one who built the houses for the three mothers.
Oh yeah, we skipped
and
that.
The whole fucking scene where he puts his hypodermic needle into fucking Mark, and then he gets caught up in his own fucking voice recorder thing, and he fucking dies that way. It is so fucking it's brilliant.
You said you don't like Mark, the guy that plays Mark McCloskey. Is that his name?
I wouldn't say I hate him, but I don't think he's as good as what he could have been.
I think that's effective in that scene that that little clip we just watched, though, where he's shaking. He's fucking shaking, like out of his mind, like fucking. He's in the presence of death, right?
Oh yeah, he's not jarring or anything to me. I don't think he's like really out of place. I just would have liked to have seen maybe a more well-known, maybe Italian actor or something do it. But no, he does okay. He's just a little bit bland. Is my kind of feel about it.
It don't bother me. I don't think nobody in this film bothers me really.
But Yeah, so needless to say, like, you know, you just seen the ending is fucking superb. I think this is I've not seen, I don't know why I've not seen this for like 4 or 5 years, man. I need to like watch this more regular, I think every like year or 6 months, because there's no denying the film is fucking superb.
Yeah.
We will come on to ratings in a minute. I don't know if you've got any other notes you want to mention. I'm just looking through a few of mine.
What I really appreciate about this film in particular, though, the most, is no matter what, Argento was going to keep his vision the way he wanted to make this film. He didn't care about the backlash,
Right?
Because people were telling him it was going to fail and all this shit. And he didn't care. He was going to make his film the way he wanted to make it. You know.
Yeah, and man,
I know even though he had a rough time on this one, but
he did, yeah. But it's for me, it's the perfect follow up to Suspiria, and you're never going to top a film like Suspiria. It's impossible.
Now I understand why he didn't want to do Mother of Tears, because he wanted to get away from that shit so much with Nickelodeon and everything, that whole deal.
Yeah.
He wasn't in a hurry to start collaborating with her on that, you know.
Mother of Tears was, like I said, written in 1984, and it was all done apart from a few little scenes here and there.
Yeah.
And that's when they should have done it. But yeah, we're going to come on to that because I'm going to have a difference of opinion with that with Dirk, I think. But there was loads of scenes that got kind of deleted or that were written in the script and never got shot. So originally, Argento had devised a scene depicting a rabid cat in the courtyard with white foam frothing at the mouth. And do you know the part with the rat scene as well? They imported 1,000 rats from China, and they couldn't even catch them all at the end. And Dario Argento and Lamberto Bava have even said some of those rats, like descendants, are still fucking living in Central Park as we speak, which is kind of funny, you know. But there's lots, there's lots with the, like I mentioned, with the opening shot with the row of ants disappearing in the hole, and none of it was shot. Another scene where Rose was to meet a 40-year-old woman in a black cloak, and then this woman suddenly turns into an old hag. That was going to be in the script. That was in the script.
That would have been great.
Film. That would have been fucking similar to like the ending that we seen with the death itself, kind of.
Yeah, the transformation.
Yeah. So
because I love how it made her like Tenebrarum, like. I love how she, because that's all we know her by, right? We don't know her name.
Yeah.
But I love when she's talking to him and then she vanishes, and then she's in the fucking mirror, you know?
Yeah. Oh man, it's brilliant.
Fucking great.
Well, I'll just go to my notes about. I know we mentioned it before, but Dario Niccolodi did say the girl, with the cat in the music class was not one of the 3 mothers. She was a witch, but not Mater Lacriarum, because Mater is deaf. So that's the reason she said that she wasn't, which kind of makes sense, believe it or not.
Yeah, they all 3, like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I say, like, there's more clues in Inferno.
There's loads of shit in this.
It kind of gives you more insight into the 3 mothers, you know? Like,
yeah.
Like, that's why I think they are 3 in 1. You know?
Yeah, the three
and that's
sisters.
kind of why I think that maybe Helena Marcus died, but I don't think Mater Suspiriorum died, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, kind of.
Like
there
the
is
spirit, like the entity lives on, like, but it's not Helena.
So
Marcus.
there's gonna be like a scene in the next film with a white witch that kind of explains the reason for Suspiria. So, which we'll hit on.
I know.
I'll just quickly trying to find a few more things. Anna Peroni was in fact the lover of politician and future Prime Minister Bettino Craxi at the time of the film. Obviously, she was using Tenebrae, said that. There's a weird kind of, you know, Alida Valley, right? and she plays the scene with the butler. So the butler was played by Leopoldo Mastroianni. And what's weird about it is he was a very well-known gay stage actor. So it kind of comes across in that scene. It kind of gives you, it is weird the way it's played because she kind of got the male role in that relationship because she's kind of butch and more like a male, and he's kind of not.
Yeah.
So I think, but the funny thing about that is Dario Argento didn't want him in the film, but he was good friends with Nickelodeon, and Nickelodeon pressed to have him in there. But Dario said, "Why do I want a gay butler in the film? Like, it doesn't make sense." So, but yeah, that was all Dario. And it is kind of a weak part of the film, if I'm honest. But yeah, man. Released in Italy on February the 7th, 1980, to mixed reviews. He planned to finish the trilogy the following year, but the bad box office put paid to that. That's why we didn't get,
Yeah, it bombed bad.
It was the 14th film of the year and the eighth in Italy box office. So it didn't do as well as they wanted. But yeah, I don't know if you got anything else. Man, that was kind of...
Yeah, kind of went through what I had.
That's kind of an exhausted look at the film. It was shelved for 5 years, where they had a wide theatrical release overseas. In Japan, it was a cult hit. But it only played theatrically in New York for 1 week, I think it was.
Oh, so Irene Miracle recalled Mario directed quite a few scenes while Dario was ill. Argento denied he denied it or whatever.
Oh, see, I'd love to fucking get the full story on that.
Yeah.
To see what he did.
Fulcanelli and the Mysteries of the Cathedrals. Mentioned it's so Fulcanelli and the Mysteries of the Cathedrals was written in 1926 as a French author and an alchemist. Dwellings of the Philosophers, 1929. A third that was never finished, End of the World's Glory Explanation of Alchemy and the Occult. Those books heavily influenced Inferno.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely.
And they're mentioned in the church. So if you ever go back and watch the church, you'll hear about Fulcanelli and the Mysteries of the Cathedrals and Dwellings of the Philosophers.
Right. I've only seen the church, I think, twice, maybe. Okay. I don't like it as much as everyone else, but I don't hate it at all.
Yeah. And I already mentioned that Argento didn't get along with Saka Pitioff. Is that how you say his name?
I don't know how to pronounce it, to be honest. That one.
But I probably butchered it because the guy that plays Kazanian, whatever.
Yeah.
Which I mentioned that already.
But he's well known Argento for not getting on with certain.
So yeah, I think that's about all I got. Wait, no. Sorry. There's two different library locations. The exteriors are at the Piazza Mincio, and the interiors are at the Biblioteca Angelica, and both. And then in that place, the Omen was it had scenes as well at the Piazza Mincio in the 1976. The Omen.
So. Shit. Maybe then with the library, I was getting mixed up. Maybe it's the library in Mother of Tears. I'll have to go back to my notes. Remember I mentioned with the perfume and the lady in black?
Yeah.
Did you realize as well? Oh, go on. Sorry. Go on.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I got.
I was going to say Argento's next project was called Oltre la Morte, and it was an 80-page treatment about cannibalistic spree in New York.
Oh, yeah,
All these homeless people were fucking turning into cannibals.
That would have been great. I read about that.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I was thinking like Cannibal Apocalypse or something, but yeah. but it was rejected by Dino De Laurentiis, and he was gutted over it, apparently. But yeah, that would have been interesting, man.
Yeah.
But
Let me catch
yeah,
the chat
yeah.
right quick before we get started.
Yeah, man, that's
Yeah.
Inferno, man. I think we exhausted that one, but
Yeah, I think y'all let us
I
know
love
how we
doing
did.
the longer ones.
Let us
though.
know if we said anything you didn't know. If y'all know something we didn't say, drop it in the chat.
Yeah.
Or in the comments if you're watching this later. So Ultraviolet says the ants were the sign that the key is under the soles of your shoes. They showed Mark the way.
Okay, yeah, that makes complete sense then, yeah. I missed that, to be honest.
Right. I love the scene where Maida Tenebron turns into a skeleton through the mirror. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's iconic, man.
James Woods was supposed to play the main lead. Yeah,
I'm glad he didn't, but
yeah, me too. I would say Dario Argento's Masters of Horror episodes, Jennifer and Peltz gave him the confidence to tackle Mother of Tears.
I think you are spot on because it literally come like a year later, didn't it? Yeah,
it did, but yeah, I don't know.
Those two episodes put Argento back in the zeitgeist again. He's completely right. Without those two Master Horror episodes,
I would take those over Mother of Tears, though. Both of those. So
I would take Jennifer, definitely.
Yeah. I like
saying
Peltz,
that,
too.
yeah, I like Peltz a lot as well.
Yeah.
I'd say they're all kind of on a par. I will say that Inferno was a 9.5 for me out of 10. It's
Okay,
not
I
quite
give
a
Inferno
10,
a 9 out of 10, straight up.
a 9.5, or somewhere
Yeah.
around there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 9 out of 10 for me. It's right there with Suspiria, man.
It's fucking great. It's like I would have gone 9 because I was talking to Dirk yesterday, but I think just talking about it now is just put it up another half a point, really.
Right. Let's see. The Butler's off-screen death creeped me out. Not gonna lie. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a like unsettling, weird dynamics between that relationship with Alida Valley's character as well. It I don't know, man. Maybe the fact that he was gay.
We do what?
The fact that he was gay maybe like makes it really strange, that scene, but
Ultraviolet says I give Inferno a 9.5 or a 10 out of 10. It's one of my top 10, if not top 5 favorite Argento films.
Oh man, I'd go with that. We'll have to do a ranking at some point. We'll rank the 28, the 21 films we've seen. If people are interested in that, we could do that.
Aiden says, "Oh wow," and I have the score to the church playing in the background.
Nice, man. Yeah.
I was listening to some scores while I was doing my notes and shit. So I was listening to all kind of different.
I always got like if I'll take a shower or a bath and I'll just put fucking Argento soundtracks on. Four Flies,
I had
Good, everything.
Deep Red going. I did Suspiria earlier. I did Inferno. Mother of Tears, not so much. I don't really care for that score at all.
Well, we'll come on to that because it's like an Allman type score, but opera I find I play a lot, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I just love that score as well. And Stendhal's got like an underrated score, I think.
Yeah.
That it just completely grows on you. My favorite score of all Dario Argento's films, though, and I'll probably surprise people, is Sleepless. I love that over like fucking Deep Red and Suspiria. I love the.
For me, it's still Deep Red. I think.
Most people would say Deep Red or Suspiria. I would imagine, but
Fondo Rosso. I can't.
That Sleepless theme gets me every time, man. The CAD player Aiden's just meant. I do like the score to that as well. I know Dirk hates that fucking film and the score.
I can't stand it. Yeah, man, we better move along because it's getting late.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, this one we're not gonna have a lot on anyway. I don't think.
Yeah.
I haven't got loads of background for this anyway, so.
Right.
So yeah.
Sorry, man. I got work in the morning, so.
No, that's all right.
I
we
didn't realize we were gonna go this long.
The clocks fucking went back for me as well.
They haven't changed here yet.
No, but yeah, yours will kind of tie up in a couple of weeks, I think. Back
Right.
to
That's
normal.
weird how that happens.
But do you want me to just go into the cast on that? And
yeah, I got a synopsis for this one because this one
Okay.
don't start the same as in Inferno or Suspiria. So I did write a synopsis. And like I said, I don't hate this film. It's just gone down a little bit. So a Catholic priest seals with wax an ancient urn that is unearthed to a museum of ancient art to be inspected by the curator Michael Pierce. The contents contain artifacts of Mater Lacrimorum, but Michael's assistant Giselle and his girlfriend Sarah go ahead and open it without him. Their curiosity brings madness and mass hysteria to the world. It's up to Sarah to figure out how to stop the Mother of Tears.
right, this is kind of more straightforward than Inferno, anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So one of my little nitpicks with this film as well is the Dario Argento. She plays Sarah Mandy. She's not very good in this film, I don't think. She looks like she's drugged.
She's
drugged out
on
of
the
her
drugs.
mind. Yeah, she doesn't look great as well.
She's
I
on
think
the
she was
drugs, man.
she was maybe 30 when this was done, and she looks a lot older. And just like she looks like she hasn't slept for a week. That's one of my main little gripes of it. But I do actually like this film. It's got a decent cast. It's got Carolina Cataldi Tazzoni,
Mhm.
and she fucking her death scene is brutal, which we'll come on to now. But a lot of the others are like kind of an unknown cast, really. There's not a lot of well-known names or anything. But you don't like the opening music then, do you? With the Omen style kind of
I don't like it
credits
because it sounds like the Omen. That's why I don't like it. You know, it's like so many films have done that shit, and it don't seem right coming from Claudio Simonetti, right?
I completely disagree, man. I love
It
it.
just don't sound right to me, man. Like
Yeah.
I feel like that dude could have done like it just feels like Omen, man. Like, I'll just go watch the Omen, you know. Like I don't know,
But I think that's a good thing that it feels like the Omen. It gives me the Omen vibes, and that's a good thing for me. But
yeah, I don't like it's not original, you know. It's kind of
right.
a rip, like to me, but I don't
So
know.
so we start off in the Viterboro Cemetery, and we see these Catholic Church workers, and they dig up this coffin of Oscar Duval from, I think it's 1815.
Yeah.
So it's basically the body of a 19th century church official. There's like a cool. Did you notice? Well, you obviously noticed this shot where a photo of the priest is taken, and we see some kind of fucking image in the camera.
Oh yeah, where
What is that?
It does that jump. It does
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's like it reminds me of Exorcist too, like the
It does, yeah.
shit. You know,
Is it? Because I paused it, and even I couldn't make out what it is.
it's
Is it like
it's one of them demon faces.
demons? Yeah, that's
It's one of those demon faces, like that we see later, right?
yeah. But at first I was like, I couldn't make out what it was. I presumed it was a demon, but so there's some kind of weird urn as well next to this coffin that they don't know what it is or anything.
And he took one wax candle and sealed, and you see all the wax on that damn thing.
Yeah. I mean, this is ultra low budget. We got to say that.
And see this one, I can't like. I gotta give it a hard time a little bit because this one was Dario Argento's idea to not go the same route as he went with Suspiria and Mother of Tears with the dream logic shit, right?
Right. Yeah.
This is all straightforward.
This happens in reality, I would say. Yeah.
Now I do like one thing that it did copy off of Omen 3 with the everybody going batshit crazy kind of shit.
Yeah.
you know, like, and so I don't know if I wrote that down about Mater Lacrimorum. Well, I read it earlier about the children, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But when I was reading more about her, it was talking about she basically like child sacrifice is like big with her and shit. So
Right, yeah, which comes into play big
yeah,
time in this film. So the urn contains artifacts of Mater Lacriarum, who's the last surviving member of the Three Mothers. Again, we've mentioned an ancient trio of black witches, but in the box it contains 3 statues and it contains a tunic, kind of that gives her
Yeah.
power when she wears it.
yeah.
I know you're laughing. Honestly, I like this a bit more than you. I think.
No, it's just that the
Yeah,
way it looks though, like
you
you
hate
know,
the way it looks. Yeah, yeah.
I mean this budget was $3.5 million,
Right. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you got a glitter gun sackcloth ripped off that looks like you bought it fucking Salvation Army or something. You know,
I don't know like what all the money went on really. But
Right.
one thing I will say, the special effects is fucking superb from Stivalletti.
Yeah, the CGI shit. I hope they
that
didn't
is
spend it. I hope they didn't spend it on that.
probably did, to be honest. There's a lot of CGI in here as well. But we got to mention the opening scene in Rome, the Museum of Ancient Art.
Yeah.
So you've got Sarah Asia Argento's character, and she's with Gazelle, Carolina Cataldi Tassoni from Demons too.
Yep.
And they decide to open up this fucking coffin and this urn, I should say. And fuck, man, like you say, like shit fucking happens straight from there on in. How would you describe the way she gets killed? Like with her mouth? It is so fucking nasty, man.
How would I describe it?
Yeah, like I don't know what they do to her mouth. They kind of open up her mouth and
Here, I got a clip. I'll show.
yeah, go on. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Right, even you have got to admit that scene is fucking.
Yeah, I wish the whole movie was that way. I
Yeah.
really do.
What exactly vice they put into her mouth? I don't.
It's like it looks like a vice grip, but back like kind of backwards, right? Like
Okay, yeah,
opposite
that makes
direction,
sense.
something to spread.
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
they're turning it and it's like opening. But I didn't
Opening.
understand the point of it though. Like
No, I don't know whether that. Yeah, I don't know why that was in there, but it worked.
I think it's just for the gore effect.
the gore. And then you got the fucking monkey as well that comes out of nowhere, like.
And that's kind of a nod back to Phenomena, I feel like, in a way.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I
You
didn't even think of that, to be honest.
But it's weird, yeah, that's the familiar though. I don't know, but whatever.
I think it's hard to top. Like it starts off so well, it is hard to maintain that, you know,
Yeah.
especially with the budget.
Yeah, I love that shit. I'm like, hell yeah, you know, like when I first seen Mother of Tears, I was defending the shit out of it, and I'm still don't hate the film. There is some problems. We're gonna get into.
There's a lot of problems, but I've gone the other way. I wouldn't say I hated this film, but I didn't particularly like it at one point. And now I can fucking like it and enjoy it for what it is. But I know you like pressed for time a little bit, but
right.
So just quickly go through it. So you got Sarah, and she's dating this museum curator called Michael Pierce. He's like a single father. He's got a son called Paul. And then she goes to the police, and the police don't believe her story about what she's seen, because she sees like 3 or 4 little fucking midget like creatures.
Demon
Yeah, demon creatures like over the dead body.
with the
Of,
baboon. I
yeah,
guess
yeah,
that's a baboon. It's like a miniature baboon or something, right? I don't know.
yeah. And then the police just basically fucking think she's mad when she mentions there was a monkey. Probably thinks she's on drugs or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you say, you've got the tunic, you know, in the fucking in the kind of urn. But then all crazy fucking shit starts to happen throughout throughout Rome. Like you get mothers like chucking babies off fucking bridges, and you know that would have
That's
been controversial even at that time.
that
Like,
feels like it's straight out of Omen 3.
yeah.
But that's what I was like. I was loving this where this film was going with all that, right? You know,
Yeah.
because Mater, I mean, when you first see her and she's not talking, just like in that clip we saw, she looks killer, like with that little shit on the one eye, and that whole scene was great. And then all the madness and shit, she cast her spell, you know,
Yeah.
and
I
then like
like all that shit, but
and then
yeah.
everybody fucking goes crazy and shit. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, like everyone's going berserk. They're
But
just
then,
fucking
yeah, but
it's
then
violent everywhere.
you get shit like this right here. Hold on, I'm gonna play it right here. You get Nickelodeon Kenobi.
Sarah. Mommy? Sarah. Mater lacrimalum grow stronger. You're in great danger, my dear child. Learn to fight. Don't go, Mommy! Don't leave me! Mommy! Please! Mommy! Please make her come back, please!
Man, I'm gonna go the other way. You've got to say, watching that now, knowing that you
Yeah,
know,
I'm saying I'm reacting off of Asia's acting performance.
oh, her acting is terrible.
Fucking shit, dude.
It's
Like-
fucking awful all the way through, man. And I'm one of the biggest Asia fans going. Now that is one of the weak links to this film. I agree, but that scene is kind of touching. I think I would imagine Asia looks back at that now and does see it kind of touching.
Now that scene don't do it for me. It's the scene where she's looking back at the old pictures. That's the scene where
That's
I feel like
scene.
I
Yeah.
feel like that's more. But that
And those pictures are real, isn't they, of her when she was a baby, I presume.
yeah, and that's pictures of Daria, and it's also pictures of Claudio Argento.
Okay, yeah.
It's not for whatever reason, it's not Dario. He didn't want to be in the film, which is weird. But whatever.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
I guess he didn't want to be in a picture with Daria, I guess.
Yeah. But you've got to laugh. So the way they create all the fucking carnage and witches and all this shit going around Rome at the time,
Yeah.
they literally do with about 10 people. And
Yeah,
I'm not fucking
There's
convinced.
not that many people. Yeah.
No, I'm just not convinced that there's fucking carnage and all that shit going down. I do like the Japanese witch, though, and the way she gets her demise in the fucking bathroom. But the fucking Asia's character fucking completely fucking
smashes her. Like I think her
I know,
eyeball pops out.
her eye pops out. Yeah, man.
But Stivalletti did a good job on that. It almost feels like Stivalletti directed this shit, though. Like to me, I don't really see.
I don't know. I didn't get that, but
can you name some shots that feel like Argento though?
I think because I'd seen like Jennifer and Peltz like not long before, it's kind of got that feel to me. Yeah. So I do feel like Argento, but I couldn't really pinpoint a scene and say.
Do you think he was trying to like break into the modern market, like with the horror?
Absolutely, yeah.
With the style, because this is way different than the other two, you know.
And you think about it, this was like a few years after like Hostel, so the big gory moments and that. Right. For sure, I think he was trying to reinvent himself. But yeah, I'm not convinced by all the mass suicides and all the people. We don't have to go too much into the storyline of this one, but I do actually like the look of the witch. I do actually like. She's a stunning actress. She's Israeli, I presume.
Yeah, she looks great, but her acting's kind of like, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
Like,
but she's over the top, I think, and she's been told to play it over the top. I'm pretty sure, man.
well, that scene where she's like, where that dude's like, he's got that spear and he's sticking it up the chick or whatever.
That's a gnarly scene
And,
as well.
and she says, "Where's Sarah?" It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
so fucking like, I'm like, what the? And he's like, she got away. And she's like, you idiot.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like it for that.
I don't know.
Do you think that scene though, with that metal poker or whatever it is?
Yeah,
I think that was kind of a nod to Cannibal Holocaust. I think, but where it comes out of her mouth, ends up coming out of her mouth. But
yeah, maybe
I could be off.
I don't like that CGI. I wish they would have left that part out of it. Actually,
yeah, the CGI doesn't work.
It looks. I mean, that part of it's killer, right? It's brutal and badass. Until I see that CGI spear come out her mouth.
Yeah, I can agree to some. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
the things that hurt the film for me, like
right,
and also, like I said, it's like Star Wars, fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi, helping fucking Luke Skywalker, and then it's but it's what I mean, and then you find out the whole shit with Daria Nicolodi's. What's her name in the film? Elisa, right?
Let me have a quick look.
I think it's Alyssa. Elisa. I believe.
Elisa, yeah.
So you find out that she had a big fight with Helena Marcos or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And that's why she was so weak and shit. And then that's how she died, right?
Yeah. So she was basically killed by Helena Marcos, but that's why Helena Marcos is just let down in bed in Suspiria, because all her power and energy has basically gone. But yeah, she's like a white witch, and she comes back like Dario.
Right.
Asia's character's got the ability to like bring her back. She's got some kind of fucking psychic, supernatural kind of phenomenon going on, like her mother.
That was something else too, because it's like she's like trying to figure out her magic or whatever.
Yeah.
And really, the only thing she can do that's magical is turn invisible.
Yeah, she does it once, doesn't she? To when the police officer's trying to find her.
She does it again when she's down in the catacombs, when she's trying to find the Mother of Tears.
Okay, yeah.
She does it one more time, but then she gets down there and like she's supposed to be like this chosen one or whatever the fuck. And really all she does is grab a spear and rip the tunic off and throw it in the fire.
I'm not going to lie. I think you're right in terms of the writing in this is fucking terrible.
Yeah. I'm just saying, it feels like it could have been, you know what I mean? It should be something more there, I think. Like, just because it's 20 years after the fact,
it does feel like a rushed production. Like they just wanted to get it out. But I do want to mention Eurokia turns up.
It feels cash grabby to me.
Yeah, it is. But so Eurokia turns up as Father Johannes, and he's got like a very fucking memorable death scene. So he's fucking brilliant and everything I see him in, he's just got this kind of just the way he is, and it's very similar to his part in Suspiria, to be honest. But in terms of the whole ending with the catacombs, I thought the guy who played the police officer did a good job, but the thing I got an issue with the ending as well was the way he's being tortured and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Would he just fucking be okay, like, to come out of that and just start laughing and shit at the end? And
I think that's a nod to Suspiria.
It is a nod, but
that's all it is. That's all
fucking horrible.
That's the only thing I could figure out, like why they did that. Is
why the fuck, man? It's just completely
but don't forget
shit on everything.
Don't forget the sludge, human remains shit that they got to go through afterwards. right?
Yeah. And you can imagine Dario fucking giving Asia hell there, just telling her to fucking
And
go
don't
through all
forget
this fucking shit.
Dario shooting his daughter in a shower scene
But
as well.
similar to Trauma Mind, he did a full topless scene
Yeah.
in Trauma when she was
quite a
actually
bit
younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, 93. So
Right.
14 years previous.
What do you think that shit's about? Exactly.
What, with Dario and his daughter,
Yeah.
Asia? I don't know, man, but I don't want to get done for libel, but she's kind of hinted in some of her interviews that, I don't know, maybe something creepy.
Yeah.
There's certainly something, you know, I'm not going to mention anything personal, but there's certainly something creepy about your father wanting to, you know, photograph you naked. But I don't think there's anything untoward apart from that, but I think she did find it a bit strange at times. But Eudokia's death, like I said, with his throat being slit is great. But yeah, the whole conclusion, I know it doesn't really work that well. You know, it's kind of, she just fucking grabs this spear thing and takes the tunic off, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I know I'm trying to defend this fucking film, but you're making it hard, man.
It's very abrupt. I mean, I know all three endings are abrupt, so they kept that same theme going. But it's like the Mother of Tears is, to me, supposed to be like the baddest one of them all, right?
Yeah.
And all you got to do is rip her damn shirt off, throw it in the fire. I mean, huh?
I mean that it is weak, the writing. But I think I'm very much more fucking forgiving than you.
No, I'm not. I mean, I got it in my collection and I'll watch it. You know, I'm gonna watch it. I'll continue to watch it. It's just it went down for me, man, this time. Especially
that surprises me.
Especially doing it this way, like going through these films like we did.
Yeah. It's it's a hard, you know, Inferno.
No more
hard to follow.
There's no more surreal, bright, hallucinatory, dreamlike reality. You know, that hurts the film for me. I think you should have kept it.
I'm glad he didn't go that way. Actually, I'm glad he kept it in present, like you know, everyday life. But that's just me. It's good that we kind of disagree anyway. Because
I mean, it's graphic. It's graphic gore, nudity, sleaze, and Dario Juan Kenobi. You know, you got that going for it. So.
But spoiler, the ending is very fucking similar to Suspiria. But it's even worse. I think it's more comical. They just start fucking belly laughing for no fucking reason. Well, they're so relieved that they've. And hey, the fuck, what's all that shit with the fucking tramp guy as well, and that other guy going around fucking following him? Who was that?
I mean, yeah, that's one thing that don't make sense either. Like the bum dude, right?
Yeah,
he lets what's her name? What's her name? Mandy. Sarah. Is her name Sarah Mandy?
Yeah,
right.
Sarah
I mean, really, are we? We got two first names here.
There's a Sarah in every single one of these films.
Well, I know that. I'm just saying the Mandy shit. I don't know.
It does make it confusing a bit, yeah.
But anyway, so the bum, he lets her make it, and he don't tell on her or nothing.
It makes no sense.
But then later on, he's like, "Here, we're gonna show you something, buddy."
Yeah.
Grabs the detective,
and then the other guy as well. They're torturing along with the detective at the end.
Yeah,
it's just like shit. Weird. And he's a well-known actor as well. He turns up in a lot of giallis. He was in Pizzoni's Possessed as well. But no, I mean, in terms of entertainment, I do like it in terms of entertainment.
You're going to be entertained. There's nothing boring in the film at all. Asia runs her ass off in this movie.
Yeah.
She runs a lot. Whole lot of running.
It is a worse performance, man. I can't deny that. I can't fucking argue that.
And they said they didn't have the money to execute the fall of Rome like they wanted to do, like you mentioned earlier. But I mean, they had 3.5 million, so I don't know. Like, I don't think it would be that hard to place an ad to get a bunch of extras.
Oh, it would have been easy to get home. Like, look at Romero's films. It would have been easy to get a bunch of
Right.
extras. That does hurt the film a little bit.
And then, so we're talking about the scene where Sarah's looking through the pictures and everything.
Yeah.
Now that does touch on the heartstrings a little bit, knowing with Dario Nicolodi's past now, and
it does.
That was effective. I do like the scene with the alchemist though, and they do that shot with the eye where you see the little magic, look like magic worm things in her eye or whatever. I thought that was cool.
There's a lot of cool shit, I'd say.
Yeah.
Max von Sydow was actually going to play a mysterious university professor in this. I'm glad he fucking never did that. But
what about
what
about the demonic orgy with the intestines getting ate out of the ass?
I have no fucking clue when I watched that scene what was going on.
And then somebody had like this hook-looking thing, and then was cutting the chick in the back.
Yeah.
You know,
some kind of, I don't know, like fucking what's that one film where they're all fucking conjoined together? It was weird.
Oh, the Human Centipede.
Yeah, it was some kind of that vibe I was getting. Yeah, I don't know, but I feel like I want to fucking give it a lower mark now because of what he said, but I'll stick to my guns. I'll fucking stick to my guns, I think. Because
it's gonna be a goddamn.
I mean, if I was in court with you now, everything you're saying was fucking shit. Like, I can't argue against
That's
you.
why I'm like when we do these when you dissect a film like that, you start fucking seeing shit.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. It's I gotta mention this though. So before this was made though, so Dario Nicolodi, I feel like she was doing it to piss Argento off. Like she brings Luigi Cosi the script for the Third Mother film. So Cosi rewrites the script in respect to Dario. It pisses Dario off. And then they never worked together again. So then The Black Cat is made, and that movie never hit the theaters, nowhere. It went straight to VHS.
Right, I do have it. I've not seen it. So do you want to just give your quick thoughts on that film? Is it any good or?
Yeah, it's good. It's funny. It's entertaining, but it's not what you think. And then they actually mentioned Dario Argento. It's very meta in a way.
Okay.
And it mentions Lavana, right?
Yeah.
The Roman goddess of childbirth.
So it doesn't mention any of the three mothers in these films at all by name.
Not that I remember because I was just watching it. I don't think so. But it's Lavana, so and it's very silly. It's very schlocky. It's not what you think. It's not
right. No, I knew it was going to be kind of like that with Luigi.
But it's fun. Anyway. It's a fun ass movie. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay, I'll definitely give it a watch. I just didn't get around to it in time.
It knows that it's so bad it's good, kind of deal.
I do like some McCarthy stuff though. I do like definitely The Killer Must Kill Again. And you haven't seen Paganini Horror yet, have you?
No, I got it over here.
Oh man, it is fucking bad. But it's entertaining bad. Yeah.
So I like. Yeah.
We'll cover that at some point, but
we'll get on
in it as well. Nickelodeon's in it as well. Yeah.
Yeah, she never worked with him again, but she still stayed friends with him, and
right.
I guess it pissed her off though because he had mad respect for Argento. He wasn't gonna. He was like, "Nah, we're not doing the Third Mother film."
Yeah. So. No, that makes sense, man.
But she tried to go around Dario, like it was like,
yeah.
That's some dirty. But yeah, I don't know.
I was gonna say for me, Mother of Tears is like an 8 out of 10, and probably fucking shocked at me saying that, but no, I'm gonna stick to it. I know you're a couple of points lower, yeah.
Yeah, it's a 6 out of 10. Like I said, it's still
That's fair,
entertaining.
man. That's fair.
It's
I
still
think.
6 out of 10. It should be a fucking 3 though, to be honest. But it's a 6.
It was a 6 out of 10 for me when I first saw it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I just kind of.
I've seen
I'm a
it.
bit-
I've seen it probably. This is probably my 5th time watching the damn thing, and like
Okay. Yeah.
you know, I've seen it a lot. So there's just some things. It's like, God damn, our Ozzy is acting. Well, we mentioned everything. Why? So I'm not gonna go through it again.
No, I am more forgiving, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a massive.
Because she's good in other films, you know. But
she's brilliant in fucking everything I've seen her in, apart from like maybe 1 or 2. This is the worst by far.
Scarlet Diva, she's great in that. The Heart is Deceitful Above All Things. That's her best fucking role. I'm still convinced that's her best role. But
I mean, Stendhal is her best, I think. But I need to see the one you just mentioned.
you need to see that Heart is Deceitful. That's really damn good.
Yeah.
But maybe she's not really maybe she's not acting in that one. Maybe it's like because
Scarlet Diva, she gets actually screwed on, you know, in real life in that film, like on camera. So, but I hope everyone enjoyed this. I know it was like it's always a fucking labor of love, like Argento. I don't know if you want to read off the comments to end.
Yeah, I will, man. Sorry, y'all. It's been a long one. It's been almost. We haven't done one of these in a while, almost 4 hours. But
no, I do actually think we needed to do a long, like the first 2 films. We needed to actually go into everything. Mother of Tears. Yeah, I think we give it enough time it deserves, really. Even though I do like it, I'm not gonna lie.
Like I said, it's a 6 out of 10. It was a 7. I had it at a 7. I had it. At a 7, but
I was gonna say there's not a lot there in terms of fucking storyline or anything.
And what could have been though is what I always think of. Like what could have been, but you know. Oh, well.
I actually think for 2007, I don't think he could have done with the budget he had as well. I don't think he could have done much better, but
the writing could have been better.
Writing could have been, and maybe get a few more fucking extras because
the writing. I think that's really it. Like maybe get a different Mater Lacrimorum. You know.
I don't know. Certainly the fall of Rome could have been a lot better, couldn't it?
Yeah.
But
I'll read the comics, man, and we're gonna get out of here. It's late.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Got work in the morning. But Aiden says, I appreciate everybody hanging out. Hit the like button. If you enjoyed it, subscribe. Aiden says, I love Mother of Tears, but it's nowhere near Suspiria and Inferno. I loved its batshit insane energy. I would dare say that Dario Argento held out longer than any of the masters of horror.
Oh, man. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
John Carpenter, after Vampires never made a film as awesome as Mother of Tears, this is better than George Romero's last 3 Dead films. Yeah, I'd agree.
Fucking easily.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah. This is also better than My Soul to Take and Scream 4, although I like those movies, but I don't know how I found Mother of Tears so incredibly fun but brutal.
I'm on the same page, I think.
I can't stand My Soul to Take, and I don't give a shit about Scream anymore. Like that's, you know, the death scenes in Mother of Tears makes the rest of Dario Argento's other works look like Disney films.
Yeah, he did go over the top, I think, with the score, but I think he was just trying to be with the times, like Dirk said.
Yeah, he's going with the times. There's other kills I respect more though, like in other films, because of the way they're set up and the build up and the, you know what I mean? Like
it's definitely his most goriest film, but in terms of subject matter, I think Stendhal is more because some of the shit that goes on in that, and you're on about him.
There's some disturbing shit in that. Yeah,
taking footage of his daughter as well in some of those scenes.
Let's see. In my opinion, Mother of Tears is Argento's goriest film.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I agree completely.
The thing that they put in her mouth before killing her is similar to the device that they shoved in the architect's mouth in the church. I'm still wondering, like, why. I guess it's just for the gag, but I thought it was going somewhere with that. You know, like they were fixing to shove something down her throat or something. I don't know. But
which would have happened in opera. If you remember, she got
Yeah.
a death scene in opera that
she
has.
always gets it bad.
She loves it though. She fucking
Yeah.
loves it. I embraces
Right.
all these films in the interviews.
Oh yeah. Let's see. The scene where the mom throws the baby off the bridge might be the most horrific visual in any of Argento's work. I had to rewind it a couple of times because it shocked the shit out of me. Yeah, it's pretty
And me, yeah.
pretty crazy.
Comes from nowhere as well.
I'm not gonna lie. I also found the gothic witch women in this film incredibly beautiful. The gothic witch chicks don't do it for me.
Oh man, they do it for me, man.
I don't know.
She's a stunning actress.
Let's see, the visual of Asia Argento going to the house at the finale with the blue tent is one of my all-time favorite visuals in any film ever. Oh wow,
nice, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I wouldn't put it as high as that, but it is a great visual.
Dan says I can't fully hate something with Asia in it. Yeah, Asia or whatever.
I'm the same, man. I'm the same.
Yeah, I mean, I don't fully hate it. Like I said, I give it a 6. But
Asia's
I was gonna point. I'm definitely gonna point out the bad shit though. I got to. Like, I just feel like I got to.
Oh man, I'm always fair as well. What
Yeah.
I never watch a film with like rose petal fucking glasses, like.
Right. But there's some people that they're just a fan of something, and no matter what that son of a bitch makes, it's the greatest shit ever. But
yeah, I mean Dracula 3D. There's no way I can fucking defend that.
Phantom of the Opera.
Phantom of the Opera is worst, I would say, even worse than fucking Dracula.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Ultraviolet Hippie says the first time I watched Mother of Tears, the CG took me out of the film once it showed Dario and Nickelodeon's ghost. That's the thing. It's kind of hitting on some Star Wars vibes, man. I
didn't mind that shit, but yeah.
Let's see. I think that Claudio Simonetti's score for Mother of Tears is pretty good and fitting. I just feel like it's copy and paste from The Omen, but. Aiden says, I love that piece of music in Mother of Tears with Asia Argento, and the taxi was so good.
Yeah.
And they did do that, but like this one again has the muted colors and shit, and they just, I don't know.
There's no color to this film actually either, isn't it? Really?
They're all muted. It's all mute.
Yeah.
Asia,
that's more realistic with life though, I guess. So
yeah. Asia Argento crawling out of the cave was very phenomena-esque. Yeah, it happened like 20 years before, right? Ultraviolet says, I try not to think about what kind of relationship Dario and Asia have, but I really hope that it's not incestuous.
No, I don't think it's that bad, but it's kind of weird.
It's definitely strange.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if Asia getting naked in Dario Argento's work was like his middle finger to Dario Nickelodeon. That's my guess. Otherwise, I don't know.
I don't know whether he'll ever answer that question truthfully. Like, I don't think people will ask him that question either. Why do you? Yeah. Imagine going up to him in a convention and saying, "Why do you?"
Yeah, why do you shoot your daughter naked in almost every film?
I don't think yeah.
But Ultraviolet says, I give Mother of Tears a 7 or 7.5 out of 10. Sleepless is Argento's best film of the 2000s, but
it is, yeah.
The Card Player or Mother of Tears might be my favorite film of his from the 2000s.
Black Glasses would be up there as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd put that pretty high. Mother of Tears might be my favorite Dario Argento film of the 2000s. It's so damn entertaining. Still like Sleepless, The Card Player, and his work on Masters of Horror. I would have to say Sleepless.
Sleepless, I would say, yeah, definitely. That's in my top 10 Sleepless of Argento film.
Let's see, Ultraviolet. Dirk, which film would you rather watch? Cozy's The Black Cat or Mother of Tears? I would right now probably The Black Cat because I've seen Mother of Tears so much, but like it's a completely different film though. Like it's got some like just hilarity shit. It's funny and it's meant to be funny. I know it's meant to be funny. It's not trying to play it straight or anything. The thing with Mother of Tears is kind of is trying to play it straight, you know. I don't know.
I tell you, the Dead Pit boys, right? Both really like Mother of Tears, and I was shocked.
Oh yeah,
I remember them reviewing it a while back. I was expecting them to shit all over it, and
yeah.
no, they really like it. So you wouldn't expect that, really, would you?
No.
Knowing
I mean,
their case, yeah.
I mean, like I said, I give it a 6. So that's not hate by no means, but it ain't love either. So
Right. So do you want to mention what we're going to be up to next week?
yeah, man, we're gonna have Alpha Romero. He's coming on the Euro Crypt.
Yeah,
and
top man.
we're gonna be covering Living Dead at Manchester Morgue. Zombie 3.
Zombie 3, yeah.
And 28 Days Later is Romero's pick. So that's what we're going to be doing next Saturday.
Yeah.
It's going to fall.
Go on.
It's going to fall on the Day of the Dead.
Yeah, the Mexican Day of the Dead, I think.
Yeah, the Day of the Dead. Los. Well, I ain't going to even try to say it because, yeah.
I've not seen
November 2nd. So.
Oh, right. I've not seen 28 Days Later in like 20 years.
It's been a long time since I saw 28 Days Later, yeah.
I've never seen the first one either, Living Dead at Manchester Morgue. So I did see 5-10 minutes, but I don't count because the fucking dubbing took me out. But
right.
I'll do it in Italian.
Yeah. Yeah. So if we can hang out for a little bit, anybody got any questions or any comments?
Let us know, because I know we're thinking about doing Michelle Suavi at some point, but if anyone's got any more directors or films they want us to cover, like, now's your time to tell us and we can write them down for future.
And we do have the next on An Hour to Kill. You remember what we're planning on that? Or you want to wait and talk about it?
Are you on about the 3 random films or?
No. You don't remember?
No, refresh.
We'll talk about it.
No, mention it now. Go on.
Oh, we were going to do the Hannibal film.
Oh, yeah. I completely forgot about that. Yeah.
Silence of the Lambs and all, the whole damn thing,
Yeah. Sounds good, man. Yeah. So that's our next couple of shows sorted.
Right.
And then I was thinking we'll get back to Giallo after that. And we'll do 3. We can do 3 random Giallo, or we can, do a direct.
Yeah, I got some stuff that I haven't watched yet too, so that'd be good. Some more Giallo.
Yep.
But
same, man. Yeah.
Let's see. Ultraviolet says great stream and great choice to cover the Three Mothers trilogy a few days before Halloween.
Yeah, it's worked perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been planning this for a while. Just hope we did it justice, hopefully.
Yeah, I think so, man. Like, I don't know how much more. I mean, I'm sure you could go further if you really just want to go insane. But
the first 2 reviews there were pretty fucking extensive, I'd say. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I got to tell you, man, did a lot of research, read a lot of shit. And we do prepare for these streams. So
absolutely.
But I appreciate everybody staying, hanging out in the chat, commenting, doing all the things, liking, subscribing.
Yeah, man, that's the reason we're doing this,
Yeah.
Some of the positive comments, that just makes my week, really.
Yeah, we got some Luigi Cozy too. Ultraviolet says, I'd like to hear y'all cover a few Luigi Cozy films. Yeah,
we've also got go on.
I have, I got the Black Cat, I got Paganini Horror.
Yeah.
And I think I got another one of his somewhere over there.
He did an episode of Doorway into Darkness as well. But I mean, we'll probably just end up doing Door into Darkness on its own.
Yeah.
But we got the Dario deep cuts as well. We can leave for a while, I guess.
And we talked to Dan, so that'll be coming with Dan later at some point. Not sure when, but we're going to be doing the House of the Doom.
Yeah, 3 or 4 weeks or something. We'll see if we can get that, you know.
The House of the Doom set, the two Umberto Lindsay's and the two Lucio Fulcis. So.
Yeah. Looking forward to that one as well.
Let's see. Aiden says, great stream. I appreciate it, man. And I appreciate everybody in here. And if you're just checking it out for the first time, let us know in the comments what you think. If we left something out, we didn't mention something, put it in the comments. I appreciate everybody. And we're going to get up out of here. Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one, guys.